Hey, what's shaking? What a shaking nation! Welcome back to your favorite R-rated experience. Yeah, a real dose of real talk, motivating content, and a wildly entertaining conversation. This is Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Buckle up, man, because today's show is loaded. We're going to dive first into the bizarre yet ingenious story of a CEO who paid his tariffs. Yeah, I said tariffs. With Amex points. Yeah, there's a true story. Yeah, just points. Then we're going to decode intimacy with a surprising hack that's guaranteed to up the bedroom game. It might have to do with sitting. Sitting somewhere. Face. Yeah. Center stage nostalgia hits hard as we visit 13 classic old school habits making an epic comeback. Vinyl lovers, get your needles ready. We're going to have some fun on Free For All Friday today. We're going to take a deep dive into redefining modern masculinity, how to be strong, compassionate, and truly unstoppable. As always, I want to invite you to smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, comment, because your daily accountability partner is here. Heads up, as I said, R-rated. Get the kids out. Put the headphones on, exit left, exit stage right. And fellas, I invite you once again, do not hit that snooze button. You're going to be behind everybody else if you do that. 9 minutes is the de facto snooze button. 9. B-Drive, good morning, Holroyd, good morning, Lady Drew. You guys are here to kick the show off. I appreciate all you guys. We got John coming from the patio when he gets here today. We got Matt Roof joining us in this morning. And whoever else decides to pop into the show here on Free For All Friday. Guys, you guys can join the conversation. I invite you to do so. Jimmy, let's throw that hotline up there in a couple minutes when folks are ready to get after it. 431-300-3005. 431-300-3005. You guys heard the guy's name? You know who that guy is? Jimmy, producer Jimmy. Gets up and gets after it every single day with me here. Joining me all the way across the pond. Gonna have some fun here today with you guys. Again, join the conversation. 431-300-3005. Woo, baby. Independence Day weekend, bringing some energy in, bringing some fun in. And like I said, on Monday, we got Kindness Rising popping up to start the additional 30 minutes of Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, with Matt Roof hosting the morning experience to get you guys up and at 'em over on the big days there on throughout the week here. We got Roof starting the show here Monday to Friday. We're trying some new things out here in the lab. Jimmy, let's run that transition, brother. Anderson, how are you, brother?
Good morning, brother.
How are you today?
Going down.
Well, you know.
Well, it's fucking got a great day lined up. We got almost. There's a few that didn't make it in last night.
Yes.
But yeah, we're here by about 11 o'clock. We're going to be 18 strong, including Terry and I.
Look at you go. What's on the menu today?
Forgive me, got my video.
Who's that behind you? Who's that?
Ben, my videographer is walking around seizing the moment, capturing the moment. What was the question, brother?
I said, what's on the menu today? What are you guys crushing for grub today on Free For All Friday?
You know, that's a good question. That's the last thing I'm thinking about is the food. I'm just excited about all the people.
Dude, you know? So speaking of food, how was your science experiment last night? 7 hours, 8 hours, or?
You know, everything seems to be on track. Although last night I'm a little bit off because I went to bed last night, didn't sleep very well, just because people are here and my rhythm has changed.
Yeah.
So the rhythm in terms of the how quickly am I turning over my dinner? That's got to be I've got to be really in my groove for that. Otherwise, I guess what do you call it when there's like a baseline? The baseline's thrown off, then it's not a rhythm.
Yes.
It's not good. Was it not feedback? It's not good evidence. It's not good data. Whatever you want to call it.
I hear you. Hey, we got some funny.
Quick, did you see when Ben walked around?
I did.
My videographer, he's a good buddy of mine too, by the way. So I want to demean him by saying my videographer. But
Yes.
normally when he walks in, because he's got this little camera, so he stays kind of discreet.
Yeah.
He's a fucking monster. He's 6'5", like 360
Well,
pounds.
you look like a big dude behind you there, and he's just
Everyone
carrying
thinks
this,
he's my fucking bodyguard. Instead, he wears two hats.
he's just carrying this little fucking candle and walking around. It's like, what's the dude doing over there?
Well, you know why? Because if he carries his big fucking rig,
I know. Yeah.
everybody fucking freaks out. But he does this, nobody fucking really gets what he's doing because those are kind of new.
I hear you. Hey, we got some fun conversations coming out today, brother. We got a surprising hack for deeper intimacy and pleasure. It might have to do with sitting somewhere, your face. We're going to talk about that here today. We're going to get into, dude, I found a CEO, Johnny, who paid his tariff bill with points, Amex points. We're going to have some fun with that conversation. And then there's a revival. Yeah, there's a revival of habits that are coming over folks these days that I think we're going to have some fun revisiting, where you and I grew up with some of these habits, either with you and I or with our folks. And you're going to notice there's been some production qualities on the show today that have improved. We've been getting after it. Jimmy, myself, and Carter have been working on increasing the production quality. And my brother, we got a poll. No, I didn't say Christian, Jew, Russian. I said poll. Sorry, I got to keep dropping the joke. I got to keep dropping the poll joke.
What does Christian Jew have to do with a poll?
Well, you could be Polish, you could be Christian, you could be Jewish, you could be Russian.
But what's the poll about?
Well, you're Polish. You're a Pole. You're a Polish.
Oh, poll. Okay, I thought you meant like poll, like we're taking a poll.
Oh, but we are taking a poll.
So we're taking a poll of polls.
I know you and I love to have fun with words, Mr. Anderson. So we're having.
That's what I'm saying. So we're taking a poll with polls. That's like this. Did you ever hear this? This is the best. If somebody says, "You know what? Can I tell you a joke?" And in my mind, I'm going, "No, I don't want to."
No, you can't tell me a fucking joke.
But then they just start up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you anyways.
There's a Russian guy and there's a Romanian guy. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, B Drive. Johnny was a blonde. Yeah, what's up, Bernard? Johnny was a blonde. But Johnny doesn't have any hair right now. No, but Johnny was a handsome blonde man growing up. B Drive, I'm telling you, man. You check out some of those old pictures of Anderson. You might be crushing. Yeah, you might be man crushing. I know I was before I met the fellow. I was like, oh, I'm kind of got a man crush on that guy. And then I meet the guy. I'm like, oh. I got even bigger man crush. But anyways, yeah, B-Drive, I invite you to check. Just shut up, Anderson. We're going to talk. I got a poll for you. And I got a question for you. Oh, no, actually. So hold the horses. Every toilet in your house have a bidet, or do some toilets have toilet paper?
Well, even when they have a bidet, they still have toilet paper.
Yeah, yes. But so how many toilets do you have in your house? 3 of them? 2 of them? 4?
5.
5. Okay, 5. Okay, 5. So does every toilet have a bidet?
No, only the high traffic toilets get a bidet.
Okay. So then here's the $1 million question today on this Friday of the Independence Day weekend. Well, Johnny, people say don't talk politics in public. Fine, but let's talk toilet paper. So I put a poll out this week. Yes, not a poll person, but a poll. Which way does the toilet paper go, Johnny? And here's the verdict. Does it go over or does it go under? Or does it go?
That's a fucking great question.
I know it is. Yeah.
I would, if I have my druthers,
yes,
I would pick under.
Oh, so do you go under, or would you say most people go under?
Well, I don't care what most people do. I'm talking about what I think.
I know. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think when I put it up, because when you put it on there, it's going to be easier for me to get it when it's on the back side. If it's on the front side, especially to get it started.
Where's Marty for this conversation? Because he'll be thinking about you and your system. He'll be like, all right, John Anderson's I got to pull four pieces. I got to pull them up. I got to put them up.
Dude, the fucking crazy part is every once in a while you get a roll and you go to start it and like, oh, you're one of these motherfuckers. Well, so what the system there is to grab about 4 fucking deep and I just rip the whole thing loose. That's the system.
The John Anderson toilet paper system. Well, let me tell you.
Honestly, brother, I'll tell you. Honestly, I don't have a system for this, and I'll tell you why.
Oh my God, Jimmy! Did you get that clip? Hold on. Jimmy, did you get that clip? John Anderson, Nation, Bernard, Adam, Blaming John just admitted he does not have a system for the toilet paper.
Well, but I'm going to explain to you why. Because there's so many different types of toilet paper. There's the ones
Yes.
that are like triple ply, and
Yes.
then the ones that are like single.
Yes.
So if you're using a single, you need a lot more pulls on that thing than if you're using a triple. So if you
Yes, you
if you have a system, you're either going to end with way too much or way too little in your hand if you're not in your own home.
do.
The system has to fucking work everywhere.
Well, so the verdict with this poll, Johnny, systems aside, over 75%, under 8%. And who cares, 12%. And the bidet crew, 5%. And then we got Bernard coming in with the question of the day, which is, how do you wipe with one square of paper? Well, you go wash your hands.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Why would you fucking try to do that? Is more the question. You sick bastard. I'll tell you how. I got it. Here you go. You poke a hole in the middle. You put your fucking finger through it. You fucking curl out the turd with the middle finger, and then you pull it off. How's that?
You scrape it out.
Who the fuck would try to take a dump with one square of paper?
I went to a party when I was a young man last year, and I was at somebody's house, and I had to go for a movement. It was just an unscheduled movement, and they had no toilet paper, so I might have used a hand towel that might have ended up in the garbage after that moment.
I've done that plenty of times, bro. But check this out. Here's the question. So,
yes,
do people in general think it's fucking weird to take a dump at somebody else's house? Because I'm taking a dump wherever I am. Period. I don't give a damn where I'm. If I gotta go, I gotta go. There are people who are like, taking a dump. Like Terry sometimes will say, "Honey, don't take a dump when we're at their house." What the fuck what do you want me to do? Jesus Christ. Want me to drive to the fucking bath or drive to the gas station to take a fucking dump? What are these people know who I am.
Don't take a dump while we're here.
She won't use those terms.
Yes, we're
she'll say, she'll be like, don't go to the bath. Don't do it in their house, because especially she's worried if I have some squid ink.
Oh,
right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Leaving some of that behind is pretty easy.
Oh my God. You know what? I think this conversation has spurned. So I think our sponsor needs to be a bidet company and a shit paper company.
Where's Shitter, dude? Where's Mr. Shitter?
He's been quite busy. We were going back and forth on text last couple weeks. He's been busy doing.
Brother, have you not figured out when I text these people, they come running towards us? You text them and they stay a long ways away. Have you not figured that out?
Get out of here. So Rich Ermlich dropped the mic and said, with the original patent says it goes all over. That was some of the comments from the toilet paper poll. Scott Fisk says, it isn't here to negotiate. Under is stupid, and I don't care what war I start by declaring it. Ryan Salestead declared bidet
stupid.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never actually having a position that strong with toilet paper is called another one stupid. I mean, that's interesting. I have a position, but I don't think that mine is right. It's just an opinion.
Who knew that this is such a provocative discussion?
We're tickling some fucking nerves here, aren't we?
Yeah. Renee Springer says, gave the only logical exception, over unless you have kids or cats, because they will unroll it. And then Peevish brought the dado energy. What's a toilet paper roll's favorite type of music? Rap music. Oh, P.O., that's a bad one. And Peter Spicer even linked the Wikipedia article. Never say we aren't research driven. And he said over. That's pretty funny, man. That's pretty good. I got to be honest, man. So I used to work in the hotel industry, and I had to clean some rooms back as a young man, and I learned the whole putting it over and folding it into.
How many jobs did you have, brother? Do you have lots of jobs?
Good question. So I started out in a grocery store. I went grocery store. I went hotel. I sold cell phones, and then I went on my own.
You know what? If I had got my first job, which I never had a job, but if I was in your position and I had gone to a grocery store, I would have got fired for eating all the shit in the back. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Well,
I'd have been in the baked goods section looking for the stuff that was going to go out tomorrow. And I'd have been fucking trying to stuff that shit down when nobody was looking. That's what would have happened.
I might have been a husky man working in the grocery store, John Anderson.
You were doing that, were you?
Oh, fuck yeah.
How could you not? Fuck, man.
Dude, come on. yeah, I'm a young man, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You got the food, but you got any type of food. Dude, I sampled everything, man. It wouldn't be uncommon to say, "Oh, I want to try that today." You open the lid up, you have a little lick, and put it back in the back, and you're like, "Okay, I guess this is going to be a spoiled."
Wait a minute. So you're taking food that was ready to go out on the shelf. You're putting a finger in that thing and putting the lid back on. Is that what you said?
Maybe.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I was talking about eating something that was like, not going to get put out. I was going to take a bite and put it back in the fucking bag. I would eat the whole thing.
You know what? We're going to get to conversation in a few minutes about habits that are making a comeback. Johnny, I remember, and I think you do too, when grocery stores started selling bulk food. If you remember,
that's how I used to eat when I was broke. I would go walk through the bin aisle.
Because they never used to always sell bulk food. So there was a time when all of a sudden, okay, we're selling bulk food. I remember when our grocery store got bulk food, it was right by the doors to go into the back room. Worst spot, because as a stock boy, you're walking out, loading up your pockets. Oh, fuck, man. Every time you walked through that, you just walked by, it was pistachios, it was chocolates, it was anything imaginable. Right. And then as the week would go by, why is my belt getting smaller?
Good, and the shit tasted good too.
Oh, fuck. Nonstop, man.
Yeah, there was always those things it was like peanuts and fucking yogurt. So because it said yogurt, it made you feel like it wasn't so bad to eat it. But that shit was sweeter than if you just eaten the fucking white chocolate.
Yes. B Drive says, I never stole, but we were allowed to make a meal out of what was getting written as scrap at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't know if I stole.
Well, that's what I told myself too. I never stole.
I
only walked out of the store with things in my stomach, not in my
pocket. It was maybe just part of working there.
Well, I mean, at least you were an employee, though.
Yes, this is true.
I was just fucking and you weren't. You sound like you're a teenager.
I was
absolutely. I was in my fucking mid-20s doing this shit.
Yes. All right, so listen, Jimmy's prodding me along here, guys. We got some fun conversations today on the show here. I got a few things I want to throw in here for you guys. Good morning, Lady Drew. Let's see here. I want to get into. We're going to talk about the CEO who paid his tariffs and points. I got some face-sitting discussion coming up. We got the big center stage. Jimmy, let's roll to the center stage. Let's set it up, brother. Let's get the center stage rock and rolling right now, Jimmy. Or any of those old dudes had it all right all along. Well, listen, we got some fun, timeless habits. Yes, the favorite word of Keith and Johnny, making a massive comeback. And these aren't just nostalgic habits. They are transforming modern living. And these habits aren't just about nostalgia. They are driving a cultural shift towards authenticity, mindfulness, sustainability, and stronger communities. Jimmy, I think we have an opener here, do not, Jimmy? Let's do the opener for center stage, Jim. And then let's get into the big conversation, and we'll bring in Matthew as well. Jimmy, can we run that?
What if the secret to beating digital overwhelm was hiding in your grandmother's recipe box all along? We're drowning in digital noise, losing authentic connections, and feeling more anxious than ever. Despite having every convenience at our fingertips, life satisfaction is plummeting. New research from MIT and the American Psychological Association reveals that analog activities, cooking from scratch, handwritten letters, gardening, reduce cortisol by 68% and increase emotional intelligence by 34% compared to digital alternatives. Start with one analog habit this week. Write a letter instead of texting, bake bread from scratch, or start a small garden. Your grandmother had the blueprint for authentic living. It's time to reclaim it.
You guys that are tuning into our show right now, whether it's your nieces, your nephews, your sons, your kids, or friends in the community, you are seeing a lot of old habits that we all grew up with coming back with some of these folks that are
back quick.
That we're going to get into that here. So we're going to have that conversation. But before we do that, we got Matty Roof joining us here today. Jimmy, I made something for Roofy, Johnny. We're going to surprise him here.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we made some. This is a good thing. We got Matt Roof joining us because we got a big event happening on Monday. Jimmy, let's set it up, brother.
Probably would blow my nose right there.
This Monday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. We got Roofy coming in with Kindness Rising, a brand new live experience, kicking off the Mornings in the Lab block of conversation this Monday right here on the channel and on the Kindness Rising channel. So I invite you guys to join it. Roofy's going to be here to chat about a lot of fun things on a Monday. So I invite you guys to come hang out with him. Come get him set up there, Holroyd. Come get him set up, Bernard. Come get him set up, Lady Drew. I know you guys will hang out with Maddie on a Monday, and we're looking forward to that, getting after it there. So what's going on, Roofy?
Thanks, man. That was awesome. That was a great surprise for me this morning. I've been, as you know, I've been preparing hard for the opener. You know, for my debut, my launch, whatever you want to call it.
That's it.
Having your support's amazing, dude. That's I could never do that. So,
dude, before too long, he's going to be saying things like, "Matthew, play with me."
Play with me, you silly son of a bitch.
Speaking of playing, Maddie, are you an under or over toilet paper guy?
I am an over guy. But I do have a cat that eats the shit out of the stuff.
I mean,
it is every day. You don't know where it's going to be. We have 3 bathrooms in our house, and it's just which toilet paper roll has Kirk destroyed this morning is the game we play in our house.
That's awesome. Well, guys, let's have a I want to take this conversation through the show here today, which is classic habits. Let's play. Let's play again. Let's play, man. Let's have some conversation around some habits that are making a big comeback. These aren't just about nostalgia. They're driving a cultural shift towards authenticity, mindfulness, sustainability, and stronger communities. Guys, here's some things that are making a comeback with some of the younger generations. And Johnny, you got some younger kids. I got younger kids, and Maddie, you do as well. So I'm kind of curious to see what kind of feedback we get from the community and from you guys with this. So first of all, Johnny, Maddie, cooking and baking from scratch. The younger generation is spending more time than ever cooking and baking food from scratch.
It's because they're tired of all the fucking junk that's out there.
Yeah. True story, eh? Is that are you seeing that, Johnny, with your kids?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I would say our middle one, well, they all actually take an interest, but the middle one absolutely will call and ask for advice and shit.
No kidding.
Well, see, they were raised with like being fucking fed good, whole, home-cooked food, real food.
Of course, yeah.
And so, of course, when they went to college, they thought it was fucking great. They're eating all this fucking processed food. But then they realized, holy shit, I don't feel quite the way. So they go and start eating back the way they did, and they realize the value very quickly. And then, funny enough, they actually remember a lot of what to do. That's just some of the details they don't remember.
Oh, yeah. How about you, Maddie? How about your kids?
Oh, yeah. We are a big-time cooking family, baking family. My wife is an incredible baker. It becomes a problem at times. We love to cook stuff. But so the story in our house is, my kids, when they were little, they'd have friends over. And, our house was always just go help yourself, whatever. Open the fridge, go wherever. And one of the kids' friends said, I don't really like it here. Your house is an ingredient house. You don't have processed stuff. You don't have bags of stuff. You have to make anything you want. So we're known as the ingredient house. You have to make stuff in order to have stuff.
But that's a compliment, brother. Like my kids' friends didn't like to come over because we didn't have snack foods, just like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that. Our little girls were pissed. But now they get older, they see the value in what we're doing. Big time.
Absolutely.
Bernard comes in and says, if you want real food, you have to grow it or make it. And of course, we know our buddy Mike Smart, who's been on the show here, Johnny, Maddie. Mike Smart is all about growing his own food. With Shake and Mike, he's got a passion, a belief on smart, sustainable farming. So Mike would certainly lean into this one. And here's the next one, guys: canning and preserving food. I grew up in a house where my mom canned and preserved everything. I would go downstairs and there was a cold room, you guys, and it was just full of preserves,
fucking
man.
Peaches and shit like that, man.
Yes.
Give me a fucking spoon and a flashlight. I was trouble in one of those places.
Yeah, so this is making a comeback as well. Folks are leaning back into doing some canning and preserving, making jam, making fruits and vegetables and so forth. Maddie, is that happening in your house? Nation, is that happening?
We're not actually canning or preserving, but we do purchase foods from local grocers, local farms that have been canned or produced. But the story in our house is we bought this house, 1952, old school house. We've got a breezeway between our garage and our kitchen, and underneath that breezeway is a canning cellar. but that canning cellar has been blocked off. You open that thing off, and everybody calls it the Silence of the Lambs room. It's this dark, cold room. It's got a hole in the floor. The kids would come over and play hide and seek, and no one would go in the canning room, man.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
like
what? Like nobody wants to find out what's really down there.
Exactly.
Christ, dude.
Yeah. Bernard comes in.
I was such a little pussy. I was so scared of the dark. Fuck, I wouldn't even put my toe in that fucking door.
Oh my God. Bernard comes back saying strawberry freezer jam. Oh, Bernard, I'm with you there, brother. Peaches and tomatoes every year as a kid at my grandma's. Oh man, I think I'm going to be getting out of here and crushing some food. Hey, it's Free for All Friday, guys. We're having just free conversations that just kind of loosening up the conversation on Friday. But Jimmy, let's run this fun clip that we made.
Hey, do I have time for a piss right now?
You do.
Perfect.
For All Friday, this Friday, every Friday here, mornings live with Keith and friends. We keep the topics light and loose. What does it mean differently from Monday to Thursday? I don't know. I honestly don't know. We're making it up as we go along. We're about progress over perfection here in the lab. We're talking habits making a comeback. All these habits that I grew up with, and my mom and dad grew up with, Roofie grew up with, and Johnny grew up with, they're making a comeback. Gen Z is embracing things like cooking and baking from scratch and canning and preserving food. But Maddie, do you think Gen Z is preserving points to pay for bills? Well,
tell me about it.
Yeah. Jimmy, let's go to the Amex situation. Jimmy, let's run the clip with the dude, the CEO who paid his tariff bill with his Amex points. And then coming up, guys, at the bottom of the hour, I got a bedroom hack for you. It might have to do with sitting somewhere, Maddie. Face.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to get to that conversation coming. Jimmy, let's run the Amex clip, brother. Let's have a conversation about this dude who paid his bill with his Amex points.
Robert Keeley had a choice: sell out to the corporate machine or stay true to his craft. While others chased quick profits, Keeley chose the harder path: hand-built, obsessively tested, uncompromisingly authentic. Today, Keeley Electronics stands as proof that integrity isn't just good business, it's the only business worth building. This is the story of a man who refused to compromise, who built an empire not on hype, but on honest work and unwavering dedication. In a world of shortcuts, Keeley carved his own path, proving that true success is forged in the fire of passion and relentless pursuit of perfection. This is more than just electronics. It's a testament to the power of conviction, the Keeley way, where quality isn't a slogan, it's a religion. This is the sound of uncompromising excellence.
Musicians, but recently a surprise tariff on Chinese potentometers, essentially electrical parts, rocketed to 55, even 100%. His company couldn't source the parts, Maddie, so he faced a nearly $11,000 bill. So what did he do? He redeemed his 1.83 million Amex points for a statement credit to cover the cost. That's 1.83 million points that he could have used to send him around the world in multiple business class multiple times. But instead, the twist, he earned those points by paying earlier tariff bills on his Amex card.
Wow.
So in a full circle move, the very problem created the points that saved him. Craziness.
Yeah, I mean, the economy is crazy right now, right? It's shifting all over the place. Things that we thought were pretty stable and set, obviously, are shifting. Not to get political, but we've got the big, beautiful bill situation happening here in the States, and it's just absolutely upending everything. So this guy was brilliant to do that, but it sucks that he had to use it. I'm sure he wanted to travel around the world or do whatever. But people, entrepreneurs in particular, are finding ways to get it done. That is the American way, right? You find a way to get it done. It changes every 4 or 8 years. They throw curveballs at us, and we do our best to hit them out of the park, or at least get a base hit somewhere along the way, and keep doing it. So yeah, that's smart, but unfortunate that he had to do it that way. And I love the idea that it was the problem that helped him have the solution too. So it's kind of like a net zero situation for him.
Well, that's what stood out for me with this conversation, Matt, is that he used the problem. He used the problem to solve the solution. He used the problem to solve the solution, right? So I thought that was quite an interesting point there. Bernard coming in. Matt's looking good today. You got a haircut?
You know
what?
I did, man. I got him all set.
He's
for
looking
Monday.
fucking great.
I know
he's fucking sharp. He's looking really sharp.
I agree.
Outdoor
too.
Yeah.
My lighting is a little messed up. I'm outdoors. I'm in a different spot because all the kids are home. It's 4th of July.
Yes.
So I'm bouncing around a little bit in my breezeway. I do have my natural wood, which I love, but I got the sunshine coming in from over in the east, and it's actually a gorgeous day here. I'm looking forward to a great.
I gotta make a quick.
I'm wearing my red and blue.
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't interrupt.
I'm wearing my red and blue
to Jimmy because I just realized when I was up doing my thing, because I'm not in my studio and I don't have a microphone, he could hear my voice was not cut off. Normally I walk away from the microphone. I can say whatever I want to say. I'm back there doing what I'm doing, thinking I'm in private. So Jimmy, I don't know what I was saying, but my apologies, because you can hear everything. I promised when I was shaking it, it was only 3. I promise.
You guys remember the movie Naked Gun when he goes out?
Any of those sounds that I was making? I was just making.
Naked Gun's making a comeback with Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard.
So a good conversation for today is bring what was old is new again, which I really
Gun the movie.
Yeah. Liam Neeson.
Yeah. What was that guy's name?
Oh,
Leslie Nielsen,
white hair guy.
Leslie Nielsen.
There we go.
Funny, man.
Dude,
so funny.
My uncle used to love those fucking movies.
Yes.
Crazy. Like I remember I was just a little guy. Said, "You guys, this might be the funniest movie I've ever seen." I was probably only 9. And I was like, you can kind of see what's going on here, because a funny movie to me is when they get you. Like it's clever.
Yes.
Not a lot of cleverness in those movies.
It's amazing. It's all dad jokes, right? It's all puns and plays on words.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to Airplane, the original. That was the original.
Yeah. I can't say that's my style of comedy. I liked it a little more clever, a little more realistic.
Keith, John, and Maddie here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, wrapping up some conversation about a dude that uses Amex points to pay his tariff bill. And here's what I loved about this story: that Keely, the CEO, he didn't hide it. He didn't pretend to be above it. He didn't bitch about it. He got real. He got creative, and he did what it took. And here's what I loved about the story: why I wanted to, and why I thought it was important to weave it into what we stand for on this show. There's no excuses, frankly. There's no excuses. He did what it took to keep building. He didn't bitch and complain. Oh, I got this bill. Oh my God. No, he just he solved the problem. And that's what we are here about every single morning. Real talk, business athlete hustle, and the mindset that refuses to fold, frankly, when things get tough. Because guys, he had 1 or 2 choices, right? And I'm going to suggest this. Most folks would have probably fucking called the media, made a big deal about it, made a big situation about it. The guy's like, okay, I got this bill. I got to go deal with it. I got to respect it.
You don't move forward by bitching.
Exactly. Right. So I really appreciated that. I appreciated his point on it. And he's like, I'm going to solve this problem and get this done here.
Well, it's kind of crazy though. When you use those Amex points, it does feel like you're not spending money.
Well, yes, it absolutely does. Yes.
It's like, this is kind of free, isn't it?
Yes.
It's cool.
Maddie, you made a comment here, and I know we're not about politics on the show. We never are, but we do like to, make some humor about things. And I do have to make a fun comment. And because I'm the fun Canadian here, I guess I get to make this comment. So I love that we have a cadet ceiling in business or in government. And I love that it means nothing.
It really doesn't.
It means nothing. Okay, we have a ceiling of $1 trillion. We got a new government coming in. We're going to push up $300 trillion. We're just going to tell you guys what you want to hear.
It's just what it is. It's just shit for people to fixate on.
It's just for shit for people to fixate on. It really is.
Yeah, because if you're looking over here, right, then they can do also shit over here.
This
it's a shell game, right? For sure.
These last 6 months, if anybody just wants to pause, has been the greatest fucking shell game, the greatest illusion in, I think, American history. Okay, we're all going to do this, get us elected. Okay, now that we're here, we're all going to do this now. and just completely unfun to me. I'm not fun, but it's just fascinating to me, frankly.
Yeah, it is fascinating. The debt ceiling situation absolutely just keeps going up and up and up, and all it does is create every year or two an argument in politics to distract, but also it just becomes a thing for the politicians to fight over and to use as a negotiating tool, essentially. It actually
forgive me if
means
I'm wrong.
something,
Every
but it doesn't
fucking
mean
president has raised it, correct? It's
not everyone. No, that's why I was laughing. Elon put out a statement there, and whoever, I don't care how you feel about Elon, but I love the statement. He put a statement out, guys. He showed the last 40 years of politics, whether it was blue or red, they all just made the same decisions. It was just the same decision. Just
100%, dude.
Just moving the debt ceiling up. It was just depending on where they were spending it. So the Democrats put the money into healthcare, the conservatives put the money into the military, but we're still going to push that. We're still going to spend a bunch of money. We're still not going to be responsible with your money. Anyways, we're here to talk blasting from the past.
The socialists, that people say, oh, the U.S., they're broke, blah, blah, blah. How are they paying Social Security? They fucking borrow the money every year to pay Social Security.
For sure, 100%. That's how it works.
There's no Social Security saved. That shit is fucking spent a long time ago.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's all borrowed money anyway.
Every fucking year, they got to borrow the money to pay Social Security. And people think everybody think there's a fund somewhere. Fuck.
The smart people figure out ways to shelter their taxes, 401ks or whatever, or offshores, whatever the case may be. That's the fundamental difference for the downstream, right? Is how smart are we about? I'm not trying to give. I mean, I believe in certain social programs, all that. Absolutely.
The easiest way to deal with that, brother, the simplest way, because I'm all about simplicity. Don't fucking collect a paycheck, and you don't have a fucking problem.
That's part of the racket too, right? Of employment is how much of our money goes straight into.
That's one of my favorite fucking claims. I've never fucking collected a paycheck.
Friday advice from John Anderson: don't collect a paycheck on Mornings in the Lab with
be a money creator.
I agree with you. I'm just teasing with you. Hey, we're having some fun here on Free for All Friday. Whatever comes up and gets after it, we're going to talk about here today. So far, we talked about where does toilet paper go, up or over. We got into some of the debt ceiling conversation. We talked about a dude who has decided to pay his Amex tariff. Pay his tariff bill with his Amex points. And
the fact that he had a 1.7 million in fucking points is pretty astonishing.
Pretty impressive here. And we've also been leaning into the center stage topic here today, which is habits that are resurging with some of the younger generations. Coming up on the show here, guys, we got a deep dive conversation which is going to get into just redefining the man. I know that's we're a show here that likes to talk about strong masculinity, redefining masculinity. We're going to get into the new man, how to be strong, compassionate, and unstoppable. And of course, we got a chat coming up today as well on bedroom hacks, where we want to sit, guys, where we want our lover to sit. But let's keep the conversation.
Fucking teasing this one. It's the first time he did say something about that.
Yeah. So classic boomer habits returning strong. The next one, guys, is gardening. Yeah, gardening is making a big comeback, offering relaxing and connecting with nature. People just getting out there.
That is fucking good shit.
Getting out there doing some gardening. Is that something your crew's doing, Johnny, or your crew's doing, Maddie?
I mean, Terry and I will often, more so when we were younger, we like to do like projects, like landscaping projects. Now we just kind of we'll walk around. Terry actually goes and talks to the plants and pets to some of them. Like literally pets the fucking leaves and shit. I usually tend to walk around and clip stuff here and there, maybe put some Miracle Grow because I like it when they get big.
Oh yeah. So, Maddie, how about you?
Yeah, we are not gardeners at our house. My mother-in-law has an unbelievable gardener. We get so much fruit and the vegetables from that is unbelievable. We do pot gardens for herbs. We do a lot of fresh herbs. Everything, oregano, dill, basil, mint, the whole thing. We do a lot of cooking with that. But no, we don't.
That's a really
interesting
interesting point, Maddie, because when I said gardening, there's nothing edible out of my efforts in gardening. That's where this is all just fucking trees.
It is.
Well, no, but I'm saying nothing like when we're like our gardening per se is fucking palm trees and shit like that. It's not
Oh, yeah,
edible shit. So it's kind of cool how you switched and went right into edible gardening, because that's the other side.
So landscape gardening, and we do have a lot of landscape gardening too. We do. We have perennials and we plant annuals every year. We have some flower boxes, that kind of stuff. But no, we don't.
Terms down, Keith. He's got the terms.
He does have the terms down.
It only lasts one season.
I think Anderson, Matt is doing gardening with Matt on Wednesdays on the morning show.
It'll be kindness rising. It'll be how to make fat tomatoes, whatever. We'll talk about anything. But no, awesome. Really. But although our greatest gardening is, we used to have like cherry tomatoes in a pot, little cherry tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
And every year, somewhere in our yard, a cherry tomato plant pops up because the birds would eat the tomatoes, shit them out, and they would land somewhere. So every year, over here in the corner, we got a cherry tomato plant growing. Over here, we got a cherry tomato plant growing.
That's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's the nature of it. And
check it out. What you just described with cherry tomatoes on our place, we have that with palm trees. They're fucking popping up everywhere.
Yeah, they just pop up, right? Because nature finds a way. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Natural gardening through bird shit.
Keith, Matt, and John, we got AJ Zeglen joining us here in a minute for Free for All Friday here on Mornings.
AJ is coming. Come on, man.
We got Free for All Friday here on Mornings and Alive every Friday. Jimmy, let's run the Free for All Friday clip, brother. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm happy. I'm happy, Johnny. We've been getting a lot of appearances by Mr. Zeglen lately. I feel like we've been getting a lot of AJ-isms in here, pal.
Well, isn't that the plan?
It is the plan. It is absolutely the plan. Yes. Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything less, man. When my man says he's going to do something, he does.
He does do something. Yes. And I was reflecting on last Friday as I was stressing out over our experience just across the room here. And this Friday, you're over there. And on Monday, we were better. But yeah. Hey, AJ, we're having some fun here today on the show. Free for All Friday, just having some free conversations. We're going to get into it with you in a few minutes more on redefining masculinity with men. But right now, we're talking about habits that are making a comeback, AJ, like old school habits. And so far, we've talked about things like we got in some conversations on cooking and baking, canning and preserving food, gardening. And here's the next one, Jimmy. Let's get to this one, brother. Letter writing and cursive. And I'm thinking Johnny's good at this one. Rediscovering personal communication through the power of the pen or the pencil. AJ, you're an analog guy, aren't you?
I'm absolutely.
I know you are. You and Anderson are both analog guys. Yes, that's why you guys get along so well.
Yeah. And, even almost, I would say like 90% of the stuff that ends up going on my computer that I end up typing out, even if
you wrote it first.
I write it first in hand, man. When I'm writing a workout program, when I need to feel the need to be creative, when I need to feel like I need to think, and
you get it on paper, it comes alive, doesn't it, brother?
Yes. I need a pen and a paper in front of me. And I got a draft and be able to move my ideas around and do whatever. And then I'll sit down and transfer it over to the computer. I know me and Keith had this discussion many times when he was at the gym, and he's like, all this stuff you could just like put online, like put on my phone or put on whatever. And I'm like,
he misses the creation process. He doesn't understand that thing that lives inside of us needs to kind of start to catch on fire and it brews, and that's where the shit comes from.
And you know what too, honestly, like with a lot of our younger athletes in our gym, I like that they have to walk around the gym now with a paper copy of their program in their binder, and they're responsible for handwriting in the weight they did on every set. I feel it gives them some accountability, some responsibility, and then that way don't have their phones with them attached to their hip all workout, right?
And what's the study? Forgive me if I'm not totally correct here. A person that writes something down, literally not types it in their fucking phone, writes it down, is 60% more likely to use that information properly. That's massive.
Yeah, and to remember it, right?
Why would we not use that in our favor?
Rufy, what about you, brother? Are you a manual? You strike me as an analog utensil fellow who lives in MapQuest and lives with AJ and Johnny in the
MapQuest. I love it. Full of
MapQuest. Yeah. TripTix, MapQuest. So
it's like saying MySpace. You know?
Hey, Nation, you know when we all get together, we're all going to use maps to get us together. We're all going to have
You
paper.
unfold that bitch, you know, the driver couldn't possibly do it.
And then we're all never going to meet. And then we're all not going to meet because
the driver can't even fucking see. You got to pull over, keep opening it up.
That's great. So what I love is first of all, our generation, Gen X. I know AJ, you said you're right on the cusp. We can live in both worlds, right? That's what's freaking amazing. I think it's awesome. That's one of Gen X superpowers, is being able to live in both an analog and digital world.
Yes.
Me personally, I do a lot of writing, but my handwriting is shit. No one can read it. I can only read it. So I do a lot of translating like AJ does from paper to computer. The other thing that I've leaned into a lot, and actually give Keith some credit for it, is voice text. I speak a lot now, more than I ever did before with my writing. I don't know if it's going to work for me long run or whatever. I do a lot of note taking, but
Maddie, check this out, brothers. Check this out. He said my handwriting is terrible. I'm the only one who can read it. Clients try to pull that shit on me, right? Because I give them a video. You know, depending on what they're doing, I say, I need you to take notes. There's sections. Each section has notes. I want the section. I want the notes. I want it clear. I want to be able to see that you understand. Because this is the philosophy we're going to be using to apply to the program I'm building for you. And then sometimes they'll send this fucking thing back with chicken scratches, say, well, you've been a doctor, but don't worry, I understand it. And I say, not a fucking chance. Do it again. Write it so I can fucking read it. You want to pretend you have bad handwriting, you do it with somebody else.
Yeah. So when I was in college, actually, one of my learning techniques, and I think it does help to rewrite, right? So I would write my notes in class and it'd be all chicken scratch or whatever. Then at night or the evening, I'd go to the library or to my desk and rewrite it deliberately and slowly. And it was a way of relearning.
Well, you were chicken scratching because you were trying to keep up with the lecture, though. Yeah, that's understandable. That's totally understandable.
The rewriting, I agree, is a way to learn and to integrate into your brain.
Let's get into the comments.
I was actually, real quick, going back, I was actually taught calligraphy when I was probably 7 years old.
So was I.
I was, you know, that I was so much better at the fucking block letters, though. Once I got cut loose to fucking go into like, because then when I was, God, what do they call it? It's for, what's the class where you're fucking learning to write blueprints and shit?
Penmanship.
What is it?
Penmanship.
Yeah, but there's a class that you take where you're using fucking rulers and you got to like
drafting.
There we go, drafting. And then drafting, you got to use the square letters. Oh, dude, my fucking brain was like completely freed. All those right fucking angles was like I was in heaven.
Oh yeah, I was the best at making the Van Halen logo.
Oh yeah. The straight lines, the arrow.
I can't even remember what the fucking I can't even remember what the Van Halen logo is.
And the Kiss logo. And all stuff, man. I had the best Van Halen and Kiss logos. That's all that I drew. That's all that I ever did.
The only thing I knew one of those fucking kids at school sitting there fucking writing logos of bands.
100%. Yeah. Bernard comes in and says, true artists have to have the hands-on process. I'm the same way. Perhaps, yes. So my hands-on process is very digital, as you guys know. Bernard, I write like a doctor. Part cursive, part capitals, abbreviations. I have my own shorthand or something. And my grandma sat me down for calligraphy to slow me down. Yeah, I can see that. And then Bernard, I did drafting since Jimmy, let's throw a Van Halen logo up there. I did drafting since before I started alcohol or before I started school today, actually. There's the Van Halen. Uncle Keith was a master in that. Guys, I got to tell you.
I now I see it. I remember, but there's no fucking way I couldn't even come close to drawing something that would have made you think that. No, I knew.
You were dyslexic. You did it backwards. Johnny was Halen Van.
That's great.
John grew up thinking it was Crew Motley. I'm like, John, it's Motley Crue, man. I'm like, no, it's Crew Motley. I'm like, no, it's.
The crazy part, those were the smaller of my problems you're describing.
That's so funny. The only cursive that I knew was my parents' signature.
Oh yeah. Hey, AJ, we got a big thing happening on Monday. Did you hear about it, Jimmy? Let's show what's happening this Monday.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Kickoff show experience, Kindness Rising with Maddie Roof this Monday, 7:30 Eastern time, right here on the Mornings in the Lab channel and the new Kindness Rising channel. Get up, join Maddie for his 30 minutes of positive, inspiring, kind conversation. Guys, there is bullshit everywhere in the world, but not with Matt Roof. Nothing but kind conversation to get you guys to get up some positive conversation to set up the big morning show, Mornings Live with Keith, John, Marty, and the entire gang, and AJ and the gang on Monday through Friday here. Matt Roof is coming up on a Monday with Kindness Rising. Johnny, Matt, AJ, I guess something funny to tell you guys. So Lauren hasn't been the biggest ChatGPT user, but last week how she's starting to use it and doing some stuff with it. But guys, I was watching her use ChatGPT. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm writing the responses in the text. I'm like, well, why don't you just copy and paste it? She goes, well, no, because I need for it to process it in my brain. So she was going to ChatGPT, asking the question, getting the response, and then looking at the response on this computer screen and actually retyping it into a different computer screen. I was like, Lauren, you can copy and paste, but I won't remember it then. Like, all right. So that was her process of
the process.
There's actually something to that. It's the same idea of me rewriting my notes, right? When you your brain.
100%. I can get that because I really only use ChatGPT to it's stuff that I know. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I use it in a different capacity, but I can understand where she's coming from with that because it spits something out. There's so much information. I mean, fuck, I'll read that thing. I don't know what the fuck I read.
And then I got something else to tease you guys. Speaking of pens, so we all know that Joni Ive, along with Steve Jobs, created the device that changed the world, the iPhone. Think about you're a dude that changed the world with a device, right? Well, he's doing it again with OpenAI and ChatGPT. And the rumor has it, guys. The rumor has it. It's what is it? July 4th today. Let's quote this. The rumor has it that the next device he's creating with OpenAI is a pen. New device
Crazy.
in 2026.
Good place to freeze.
Oh yeah, did I freeze? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
I thought you were just pausing for dramatic effect, and then I realized
I was like, fuck, he's really holding on to this motherfucker. He wants a reaction.
So the rumor has it that OpenAI, do we know OpenAI is releasing a device here in the next 12 to 15 months, and people are speculating what it is. It's not a screen. It's not what is it. They're going to make a screenless device. So many are speculating that they're developing a pen. It's an AI pen. So we'll write with it. You carry it with you everywhere, but it will have cameras and speakers in it, and it will be your AI companion device. So their vision is a companion device that goes with you everywhere, and there's strong rumors that it is a pen. So there you go.
Dude, I just saw a thing. I don't know if it's true, but I just saw a thing that there are 7 iPhones sold in the fucking world every second of the goddamn day.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know if it's true, but it wouldn't surprise me. Fuck.
So did you know that one of the main reasons they can't make iPhones in America is there's many reasons, but one of the main reasons, there's not enough human beings. So true story.
I was going to say that they can't pay them fucking 30 cents a fucking day. That's the problem.
There's 1 million people that make iPhones.
It's a major economy, right? Device development.
Unbelievable. Hey, I want to do a quick time check here. AJ, what's your flexibility on time today, brother?
Yeah, I'm probably solid for about another 10 to 15 minutes.
Beautiful.
So I am rock fucking hard with AJ.
Beautiful. So then, Jimmy, let's.
He didn't catch his joke, dude. He's been talking about sitting on faces all fucking day. I make a rock hard joke. He missed it altogether.
Yes, exactly. So we're gonna talk about.
I gotta say, dude.
We're gonna try
make me fucking smile, and you make me smile every fucking morning.
Anderson. We're gonna do a deep dive transition, and then we're gonna get into some face sitting conversation. Jimmy, let's get into the deep dive, brother. Caught between two worlds, the old expectations of what it means to be a man and the new reality of what actually makes you successful in relationship, career, and life. Well, Today, we're going to dive deep into the revolutionary concept of this new man, someone who's just rediscovered how to be genuinely strong, authentic, compassionate, and absolutely unstoppable. We talk about it all the time here on the show. It's not about our muscles, it's about our mind, it's about our emotions, it's about our relationships. We're going to talk about the 35% of men who've cracked the code on emotional intelligence, the research-backed traits that create real resilience, and why the future belongs to men who can integrate both power and vulnerability. Jimmy, let's run the opener.
What if everything you've been told about being a man is only half the story? Here's the reality most men face. Only 35% are emotionally intelligent, leaving 65% struggling in relationships, leadership, and personal fulfillment. We're caught between outdated expectations and modern demands, unsure how to be both strong and connected. Studies show that men with high emotional intelligence and strong social support networks experience better mental health, stronger relationships, and greater professional success. The new man doesn't abandon his strength. He expands his definition of it. Join the 35% who've cracked the code. Become strong, compassionate, and truly unstoppable. The future belongs to the new man.
Brother, Dr. John Gottman's research reveals that only 35% of men are emotionally intelligent. And for the longest time in my life, I was one of those 35%. This means, AJ, that if you go to the gym, 65% of the guys walking around there have a significant disadvantage in relationships, leadership, and personal fulfillment. AJ, let's talk a little bit about this, man. Are you seeing, and actually, I got a curious question for you. Are you seeing this change with the demographics in your facility and with the men that are coming and talking to you? Are you seeing more emotionally intelligent men show up, AJ Zeglen?
Yeah, I can say I am. I want to first start by saying that's awesome. I love that we referenced Dr. John Gottman in the show here. I don't know if you recall, but he's the one whenever I'm drawing information.
Yep.
Specifically about males and vulnerability and relationships, how we communicate in relationships. A lot of that stuff comes from the Gottman Institute, which is
that's fucking cool as hell, bro.
Yeah, they're seen as the leaders kind of in that field of psychology and therapy. But to answer your question, I'm seeing more men come in and pursue it. So I have a lot of men that come in and sit down with me for the first time and sit across from me, and they're like, this is my first time ever doing this. This is my first time here. I've never been to therapy before. I've never whatever, but I've hit a point. It's become, it's kind of out in society now. It's like out in the ether that like people I think are picking up on it, even on a subconscious level, because they're seeing it a lot more, probably hearing people talk about it a lot more. And to them, it's becoming a more viable option for them. And so I am seeing an increase and guys just pursuing it, like seeking it out in the first place and sitting down and being like, hey, now that I'm here, like, what am I doing here? I don't really know yet why I'm here or why I want to be here. I've heard from other people. I read something or saw something, and that kind of led me to trying it out. And, I feel like it could be beneficial, but I'm not really sure how yet, because it's just a kind of a new experience or new concept for him, right?
John, how about you? Talking with your buddies, you're the men in your circle, your brothers, the clients that come to you. Do you find the men being more curious about this conversation, Johnny?
Well, I think what it comes down to, I think if a man has any level of intention on improving himself, that he's going to end up in this realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I think the line in the sand is there's people who it's the zombified version of the man that doesn't get this, because he just wakes up and he kind of wanders through his day. He gets through Monday through Friday just so he can have Saturday, because he doesn't have to do what he doesn't want to do Monday through Friday. And there's no self-work. There's no, working on the self. There's no getting better when nobody's looking. If that motor's not running, then I think this whole part of him is shut down.
Yeah. Hey, Rufy, the study that we're referring to here found that greater resilient coping was associated with lower psychological distress, and this relationship was moderated by social support. What does it mean? This means that the new man isn't just emotionally intelligent, he's strategically connected. But here, AJ, Maddie, looking at you, brother, The research also revealed the crucial insight. 60% of Americans, you guys, say people don't value men who are caring or open about their emotions enough. Matt, what's your comment on that?
So I think that's I think it's unfortunately true. I think it's changing. I think as AJ mentioned, the stigma is starting to loosen up a little bit. I think probably it's driven a lot by our partners and other people around us who have been exposing us, encouraging us to do that. I go to therapy myself. I'm not afraid to talk about it. Yeah, I think unfortunately, actually, when you mentioned 35%, I was surprised that it was that high. Frankly,
really?
Based on my experience, right?
I agree.
35% of men being emotionally intelligent. I'm not sure I run into 3.5 out of 10 guys that I would define as that way.
And the people that are talking shit, those are the zombified fuckers that aren't putting in the work.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Matty, you said something that I want to work at changing with our show and your show and just the conversation. Guys, we talk about proudly going to the gym. Well, I want to start talking about proudly going to the mental gym, to go focus on my mental. We talk about therapy as a bad word. No, I'm going to go to the gym, which is my therapy, my session with my AJ, with my Matt, with my John. So guys, let's start talking more about going to the gym. And the gym doesn't have to be the place where you build your muscles. That's why, Matt, as I've been talking about the world's first virtual gym, the gym's a place to get your emotions stimulated, your muscles stimulated, your mind stimulated.
My saying, brother, about chests and minds? What can you remember it? Because you always butcher it, but let's see if you can pull it off.
If we spent more time on our brains.
You're already wrong, but you're moving the right direction.
I'll see you guys later.
If a man trains his brain like his chest, he'd have whatever he wants in his life.
Yes.
We don't spend enough time working on this muscle.
It's exactly
so
right.
The word that you used, Keith, in your intro was resilience, right? And so for me, it's just the same as going to the gym. Right, you go to the gym and lift. You're not going because someday you might have to lift a 25-pound dumbbell. You're going because someday you might fall out when you're out for a walk and have to lift your ass up. So, that's the same thing with therapy. You go to therapy even sometimes when you don't have to or you don't want to, because someday you're going to need it. And when you need it, you're going to be more resilient. So I think it's an ounce of prevention too.
Conversations here in the lab, guys. We're welcoming them. Hey, good morning, Asov Kez. Hi, welcome from the Soviet Union. I will bring my Russian accent to show today to welcome all my Russian friends to show. We talk Russian. We talk men who got emotionally stable on show today. So,
dude, you're actually pretty fucking good at that, dude.
So step one, we talk about step one, the daily emotional check-in practice. Every morning, spend 3 minutes. 3 minutes, ask yourself to wipe your ass with nickel, quarter, and dollar bill. And AJ, if you grew up with Nestor Pester like myself, you know who the fuck I talk about right now. A good Canadian, Ukrainian comedian who's laugh like mother.
Yeah, this is not his first time doing this.
This is a stick here.
Because I wipe my ass with a nickel and a quarter, you know. I say that, comrade. Anyways, I say step one, emotional check-in. Practice every morning. Jerk off, left hand, right hand, left hand. Oh, sorry, wrong conversation. The connection.
Hold on. Why are you making that movement with us like this?
He was just talking about nickels. Right? I mean, that's.
You gotta be froze. He froze right there.
Oh my God. Too much Rocky and Bullwinkle coming from Bernard here this morning. All right. So, guys, we just were talking about some emotional resilience and how to build the unstoppable man. Jimmy, let's wrap up this segment before we get into some face sitting and we walk out Johnny and AJ out of the show here. Jimmy, let's wrap this segment up, brother.
Every morning, the strongest men I know do something that might surprise you. They don't just hit the gym or check their phones. They check in with themselves. 3 simple questions. What am I feeling? What do I need today? And how can I show up powerfully for the people I care about? This isn't weakness talking. This is strategic emotional intelligence. Real strength isn't about what you can withstand alone. It's about what you can build with others. This week, have one genuine conversation. Not about sports or work, but something that matters. Ask how someone's really doing. Share something real about yourself. The new man knows that vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the courage to be truly seen.
Moving to this next conversation I've been teasing all morning, we're talking about the hidden hack for deeper intimacy and pleasure. Let's talk about one of the most misunderstood and underutilized positions in the bedroom, guys. Let's talk about Jimmy, face sitting.
Most men think intimacy is about technique, but the real secret, it's about vulnerability. The courage to communicate without shame. Face sitting isn't just a position. It's a trust exercise that transforms relationships. When partners embrace this level of openness, something powerful happens. Confidence replaces hesitation. Connection deepens. Both partners discover new levels of satisfaction. This is how you build intimacy that lasts.
Talking why face sitting isn't just about oral sex, it's about power, trust, and mutual satisfaction. And this is the show. I can see AJ over there. This is the show.
He can't even fucking get it out without laughing, dude. He's been teasing this the whole fucking time. This is like his high spot right here.
We talk about shit that nobody wants to talk about. When done right,
he can't even get it out.
I love it. When done right, face sitting can completely shift the emotional dynamic between partners. It builds trust, it heightens pleasure, and maybe most importantly, it opens the door to new levels of confidence and control, especially for women. This isn't about kink alone, guys. It's about connection. Let's just get into it, guys. Face sitting enhances dominance.
You've been dying to talk about this. Is it?
100%, man. This is a
right
fun
here.
one. Well, so it's funny because I got a text from Maddie last night, so before we wrapped up the day, and I was like, Matt, we're talking face sitting tomorrow. He's like, oh, I'm like, it's just so fun.
Gotta get some practice.
According to studies on sexual communication, nonverbal power shifts like those in face sitting can actually strengthen intimacy. Guys, here's the reality, right? It's a very vulnerable position for both involved, the man and the woman, but it supports oral stimulation from various angles, increasing the chance of orgasm through clitoris, vaginal, or anal focus. So before trying it, have a candid conversation, set a safe word or a tap out signal, because communication is everything, especially when somebody is sitting on your face. Who wants to go first?
It's kind of like in a like AJ, like in a football game on the special teams, like a point after when the guy fucks up the snap and the fucking guy yells fire. That's the word that says everything's gone to hell in a handbag. So you got to have a code word, in this situation. It's kind of like fire.
Yeah.
So here's this crazy. We got Lady Drew. Lady Drew enjoys face sitting, but here's a serious question, right? Actually, in many ways, why do you think there's such taboo around this topic? Zeglen, starting with you, and I'm serious. Why do you think there's such taboo around this one?
I don't know. So to be honest, I didn't know it was like a taboo topic. I guess I understand if I think about it. It's probably not something that people do like right off the bat, maybe, or something. I don't know. So maybe it is something that maybe shows up when there's a little more trust involved or whatever. I know. I guess on these topics, I can only speak from my own personal experience, right? So
yes,
it's not like I'm an expert in this field by any means, but I don't recall ever feeling like I needed a safe word in there. I just feel, I feel like, hey man, I'm just gonna enjoy the moment, and I don't know if I can't breathe or whatever. Then I guess this is a good way to go out. I can't imagine. I'll go down with the ship.
Well, I'll be told, but for me to join the party and explaining my thought when I watched this was. Yeah. I was thinking of like where's the fucking punchline? What's going to come that's going to make this, this seems pretty fucking normal to me.
Yeah.
Well, I do. I think it is too. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. So this topic ended up on my desk as part of the things I subscribe to for these fun topics of our show. And there is a percentage of society that considers this a taboo type sexual experience. I don't know.
These are probably the people that are not fucking having sex. Period. That fucking is a monster. Fucking that's whatever the percentage of people not having sex fucking blew me away. If you're not having sex, this probably seems a little taboo.
Yes.
So this fucking butthole in my mouth, I'm not even getting any. I'm going to have an ass on my lips. I get that.
But Maddie, from your point of view, we're all the same age. You're Gen Xer.
Yeah.
So do you think this is a taboo type topic?
I think that what makes it taboo and what I've experienced in my life in terms of the messages around this particular thing for men is vulnerability, right?
Yes.
I'm not going down there. That's a weak position. It shouldn't go both ways.
These are the same guys that are also fucking afraid to show emotion and fucking shed a tear.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's vulnerability, but I do think it's interesting, right? Because often we hear on the other side of the world that eye contact is what's all about connection, right? Kind of hard to make eye contact from that spot.
Yeah, I want to get to the comments. We got Bernard saying, as a professional stallion of nearly 40 years, a real master of the face sitting can only smile and hear this conversation. And Bernard says, I've converted lesbians. And Bernard comes back with saying, Scorpio. Yes, you caught me.
Bernard, are you one of those dudes that think you're fucking changing people's fucking preferences to the left?
And then Bernard says,
she was a lesbian until she met me.
Bernard says, no.
I'm like, oh God.
I turned more the other way in my life, but that's a whole other.
No safe words when you are choking. And then Bernard comes to Johnny when John's trying to say. What John's trying to say is boobies or butt cheeks both need motorboating. and then Holroyd says, if someone can't breathe, they aren't getting out the safe word. Yes, this is true. We're talking face sitting here this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends.
I just figured out the motorboating thing. That took me like a 5-second delay to figure out the motorboating. It's been a long time since I've done a motorboat on a female. Fuck. I was looking way too deep in that one.
Motorboating and face sitting on Mornings in the Lab. All right, it's 17 after the second hour. I know my two brothers got to rock and roll. Uncle Keith, the host here, is going to make sure they get out of here. Johnny, in less than a minute, pal, and then I'm going to come into you, AJ. What's going on today, brother? You got the whole crew today. A big fun family day today, and then the whole weekend, eh, pal? Johnny?
Yeah. I've got one client call this morning, and then Ben's here, my videographer. We're going to film. Yeah. We're going to train and film till 11 and shut it down, baby.
Nice. Is Ben around there? You should put Ben's face on the camera so we can say hi to Ben.
He's inside now.
No, he's having a dump or something. Zeglen, what do you got going on, brother? You got a busy day today, pal?
Yeah, I'm working this morning, finishing up the last day of development camp for our team here, and then I am playing in a charity golf tournament in the afternoon. Oh, and so I'm looking forward to that. And then just want to say happy 4th of July to our American friends. I know there's some tensions maybe between the countries at certain levels, but man, I got to tell you, I have so many good friends that I love with my whole heart down in the US, and I'm just I hope they have the absolute best long weekend today, celebrating their Independence Day.
AJ, you and I have the best spots on this show because we're both Canadian dudes, but 99.999% of our audience and friends are all American, except for Holroyd, who's down there in Ontario. Yeah. But it's fun because we can offer our comments and opinions and all those motherfuckers over there, and then just walk back across the border and say, oh, guys, that's your country. You guys deal with it. Rufy, I'm going to bed, man. I'm going to go back.
You're out. I'm dealing with it.
All right, so Jimmy, we're going to walk out Johnny. We're going to walk out AJ. Maddie, Roof, and I are going to keep the show going on here for the next 40 minutes, or I'll see how Maddie's got the time with me, but 10 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes. But AJ, Johnny, you guys have a good one today here. And we got B-Drive coming back saying, well, what a fun Friday. I wish Lady Drew was on this side of the chat today. Yeah, Drew, we got to get you over on the vertical here today. And then Bernard is going to throw one last dart at me here. I think Keith chose face sitting because of an experience in a theater as a child when a big gal sat on him in the dark by accident. No, she didn't sit on the pile of kittens. No.
Bernard, stop with all these fucking goofy comments. I got to go, for Christ's sake.
Anderson, get out of here. I love you, brother. Have a good one, pal.
Johnny, have a great 4th, buddy.
Take care, pal. Jimmy, let's run the segment happening this Monday with our brother. Let's run that segment for this Monday, Jimmy. I don't think he was ready for it.
That's all right. We can.
That's okay. So, hey, guys, listen. Right. I welcome you guys to join the conversation here on the Mornings in the Lab hotline. It's open, 431-300-3005. 431-300-3005. The only one. There it is right there, guys. I invite you to pick up that phone you have in your hands right now and send me a text or send me a voicemail or even just call Maddie and I. We're here on the big show, the big Mornings in the Lab show here on July 4th. Hey, Roofy, what kind of time you got for me, brother? You got to drop at the bottom of the hour. You stick around for some community.
No, I got nothing going. I'm here for you all the way.
Let's keep going, bro. Let's dig into the past and a couple Gen Xers. You and I, we're going to dig into some fun conversation here. So, Jimmy, let's go back to the top of the show here on the center stage here. We kicked off our conversation today on habits that are making a comeback. They're making a comeback, like LL Cool J would say. And we talked so far we talked this morning about cooking and baking. That's making a big comeback. Canning and preserving foods making a big comeback. Gardening, letter writing in cursive. Maddie, vinyl records and record collecting. Now I'm curious because that's been kind of the last few years. Are your kids buying the vinyl? Are your kids buying the record players? Let's talk about that, bro.
They haven't gone all the way back to vinyl, but I do have one kid who's really into CDs right now.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I think the reason is we bought Declan a car that has a CD player in it, which is rare, right? It was an old enough car, 2015 Volvo, something like that, whatever it was. It still has a CD player in it, so it's like fascinating to go back to the CDs. When they were little, we had a little CD player that sat right next to our breakfast bar, and we would listen to music on CD every day while they were getting ready for breakfast for school and that kind of thing. So he's back to being fascinated by that. Started burning CDs, so going back to the whole downloading MP3s and burning, making jewel cases, a little creative action to make his own jewel cases and stuff. So we haven't gone all the way back to vinyl at our house, although we did when my grandmother died. We found her vinyl collection, and she had like one of those old school cabinets with the flip up top with the big speakers in it. We found all her old vinyl, but it was like Frank Sinatra and some of that stuff. So we were rocking some of that stuff together, just learning about vinyl. But there definitely is a lean into vinyl. I see I listen to Spotify. When artists release new albums, they put out a vinyl early, right? People love that.
I'm intrigued by your comment. You said your kids are buying CDs because you and I grew up in an era where CDs were kind of like were the first digital, right? Yeah, and vinyl still would be considered analog. So I'm surprised your kid was leaning into the digital when he didn't go as far back to analog. Do you think CDs are going to make a comeback, Matt?
I honestly don't think it's going to be. I think it'll be a novelty.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough difference, right? So people who are real audiophiles get into loss and sound and mono versus stereo. I don't think CD versus digital streaming. There's enough of a geeky difference in the sound as opposed to analog, which feels really. It definitely has a different sound, a little scratchiness to it.
You know what's fun, actually? You know what I've been wanting? I'll just reveal it on the show here. One of the segments I would love to create for the show, and I believe me, I've given it much thought. Now I'm going to give it more thought live with you on the show with everybody. I have wanted to get myself a record player, plug it into the platform, and spin some vinyl as part of the show. Now, I got to be honest. I don't know. So I don't know what the legalities of me running like a clip. If I was to run some Metallica or run some old school vinyl, like I'm just talking out loud right now. Like if I ran some one on Metallica and spun a little bit 30 seconds, anybody going to give me grief? Am I going to get fucking copyright?
I don't know. I don't know what the legalities are. I would say if you're not trying to specifically monetize on that track, probably not.
Yeah, that could be fun.
But maybe legally, I don't know. And the other thing is there's probably royalty-free or license-free music on disc too, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, being able to play recognizable tunes on the show and getting into that old school stuff adds another element. But
100%. We
I'd call in the lawyers before I did too much. I think.
There you go. We could bring some vinyl, bring some Avante Daniels, spin some Marvin Gaye, have some culture conversation.
Oh, dude. That's what I'm talking about. I'd be into that all day long.
You and me both.
Avante, I bet, could bring some stuff and just the connection to culture and
you mean Avante?
And the world.
You mean Avante? Don't call me Dante. When I was Uncle Keith is putting both words together, Avante Daniels, Dante Daniels. What's shaking, Avante? I love you, brother.
It's close.
We got Adam Holroyd coming in with the comments saying, I had a vinyl as a youngster. I have a new record player now. Oh, that's awesome. And I've collected some of my favorites. Hey, Holroyd, I'd love to know what record player you bought, man. I was kind of looking at one. Yeah, I've been looking at some over the last few months, and I'm kind of curious to know which one you bought. We got Bernard come back. I see CDs being more used for retro gaming. Interesting. And I think if it's under 30 seconds or else you get copyright banned. I think you're right, Bernard. I'm going to look into that, actually. Old blues. I've heard of people getting banned on copyright on their own music even. Yeah. Well, you know what's cool, Bernard, is that all the music you're seeing being created on the show, I'm creating it. We're creating it. So using Suno, S-U-N-O, the AI machine, I'm fucking thoroughly enjoying making music and expressing my creativity. Speaking of, I just love it because I get to make stuff like this. Jimmy. Yeah, just like that. I gave Maddie the original song this morning on how Jimmy came to life, and I just sang Jimmy out loud, and that's how it brought it to life.
Dude, you gotta play that for the world. That was some serious beats there.
Polaroids and instant cameras are making a comeback as well, Maddie Roof. Enjoying physical printed memories. Folks are buying more Polaroids, more instant cameras. And I gotta be honest, man, as a guy who loves photography, and I think I'm a pretty good photographer, pat myself on the back, I love the idea of the Polaroid comeback. I love the idea of the instant camera. But you know what I love most about it, Maddie? Is I love how intentional it is to force you as a photographer. Right? I love this idea. And there's actually a digital app right now out there, or a digital app that says that it makes it hard for you to take pictures. Why? To make it intentional. Yeah. Right. So it's like you gotta do a few things on the app to actually take the picture instead of just pressing the button down and taking 1,000 images like we're so used to. Yeah. Right. So love that. Right. What are your thoughts on that, bro?
So I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that's happening. My kid, I love just everything's about my kids anyway. One kid is in school for media, and they're doing old school photography. He's actually going to take a class, and they're going to put him in the dark room and actually have him developing photos, which is going to be awesome. And the other kid, who's not in that field, but I walked into her dorm room at the end of the school year, and they have an entire wall. Every person who walked into their dorm room got a Polaroid, and they had a wall of pinned up Polaroids of everybody who came to visit them. And it was just awesome to see the old school style. They were leaning into it. Kids were having fun. Some really funny shots, most of them appropriate. That was really cool. So I think it's really important for people to know where things came from, right? Because I think it gives you context for the new stuff. So I'm all about it, and I would encourage everybody to give it a try. Although when you take that roll of 35 millimeter photos and there's 24 clicks on it, and you get like 2 that are usable, it's a different experience. We talked about it. Did we talk about it on the show? I don't remember. Waiting at the 1 hour lab for your pictures to see what you actually got.
So true. You know, it's also making a comeback. Well, not so much a comeback, but folks are spending more time with it. And I think much of it came out of COVID was board games and puzzles, promoting screen-free socializing. I know when I got the call from ICUC saying, "Hey, it's time to go that way," well, we're going this way. I embraced Lego, dude. I got into Lego, got into puzzles. I enjoy a good old board game. I enjoy a good old puzzle, and I love Lego. There's something about taking something from nothing, opening a box and creating something out of it. There's actually a pretty cool board game restaurant / facility here in Winnipeg, Maddie, that I'm hoping to take Lauren to. We're going to go hang out and sit down and pick some board games off the wall and have some nice meal there. It looks kind of fun. But board games and puzzles, is that a big thing for your family?
So puzzles became a thing for a while. We actually had our dining room table covered in 500 or 1,000 piece puzzles that we did as a family. Then it became an argument because somebody was finishing the puzzle before somebody else could get into finishing it. That kind of thing. We love board games in our house. We don't own a gaming system. Actually, we do. We have a Wii, the original Wii, but it doesn't get used. But we do play board games and card games in our house. We go to a lot of bars, pubs, like breweries, and they always have games. I was playing Uno with my nieces the other day, and classic Uno, But no, we love games. We love games, especially Declan's really into games, Dungeons and Dragons, like the original with all the little figures and the dice and that kind of thing. So it's huge. It's huge.
The next
we
thing,
got a place in town. Go ahead.
The next thing making a comeback, Maddie, is retro fashion, and I love so we know that fashion makes it's a circular experience, right? And it's certainly making its way back into the world again. People are digging back into the 80s and 90s and looking for some of those retro fashion things and bringing them forward, just like ghetto blasters. I've been looking for a ghetto blaster to bring a ghetto blaster into the lab here and have some fun with it. But retro fashion is making a comeback.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking you go look in your closet, you're like, I've had these clothes for 30 years. I can wear them again.
It's amazing, right? Yeah. So everything does come cyclical. I remember wearing my dad's shit.
Yes.
My kids are wearing my stuff. One of my kids wore my varsity hockey jacket, old school, like the starter jacket style, the vinyl with the whatever for a while. I love 70s fashion. I lean into, I don't wear it on here, but I lean into the big collars and the silver buttons and that kind of thing. I think that's an awesome style. Thrifting is awesome. We can talk about thrifting, right?
Yeah.
Love finding a good thrift store. There's a lot of junk, but it's fun to sift through and find like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing.
We're doing a garage sale here at the house tomorrow, Maddie. We're doing a garage sale or a garage sale.
Garage sale.
It'll be fun. There'll be some, pulling
You're selling the Tesla?
Nope, the Tesla's wrapped up. Exactly. At the garage sale. Yeah. Hey, Keith and Matt here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. We're getting after it. Hey, this Monday, guys, 7:30 Eastern time. The guy on the screen with me today, the handsome young man on the screen with me. Yeah, he's got a show. It's called Kindness Rising. It's all about kindness. It's all about getting out of bed and starting your day with some positive energy, setting you up for the big morning show at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So I invite you guys. I strongly invite you. Go check out Matt's show coming up this Monday. Every day, Monday through Friday, Matt's realizing what he's bitten off here. And we are supporting him wholeheartedly and having some fun with him as we continue to build out the business. And Maddie, Jimmy's following your instructions. I said, we're creating all these transitions.
Oh, I love it.
And I'm like, dude, just fucking run them and cut me off. We're running a show here. So it's awesome, Jimmy. So no need to apologize to cut me off.
No, it's all good.
We're talking old habits that are making a comeback. And before we wrap up the show, we got the community corner. And then Maddie, I found something fun too. The top 5 careers that are most likely to cheat. So first of all, just don't cheat, guys. But there are a certain number of careers that might have a higher propensity of cheating. We're going to have that conversation coming up in about 6 or 7 minutes or so. And then, of course, we got the community corner where Keith and Matt are going to take the big lights and shine it on a bunch of folks in the community corner segment on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. But right now, we're talking habits making a comeback. And Matt, let's dig into the comments. So we got Bernard. Bernard, I love that you hang out with us, man. I cannot be more sincere that you get up. You're the first, you and Holroyd and Lady Drew, you come and hang out with us and you're just so engaged. And he comes in and says, shuffleboard is what I want eventually. My parents have a shuffleboard and I think I might be arm wrestling my brother for it, Maddie, that when that thing needs to go somewhere, exactly. It's going to end up at, hopefully, Keith's house over here. So, Matt.
I wouldn't know how to do it sober though.
Just hang on that one, guys. Knitting, crocheting, and sewing is making a comeback as well, celebrating mindfulness and sustainability. People are buying sewing machines. People are crocheting. People are wanting to spend more time making their own clothes. Maddie, what are your thoughts on this, brother?
That's not something I'm into personally, but I can see how that would be appealing to people. I've got some friends who are doing some sewing. One particular friend who's going back to that same 70s style. She's sewing 70s sundresses and stuff. They look awesome.
Yes.
I'm part of the Grateful Dead community. A lot of people in that community are leaning into making their own clothing from hemp and from natural fabrics and fibers. I see that around a lot. I think it's cool. But it's not necessarily something that I'm personally doing.
Dude, when I was in home economics class in school, I made a mesh muscle shirt for myself.
You got to wear it. You still have it?
Like you know, the mesh, like the
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Dude, it was. I should go find it and wear it to the show one day. I think
my God, that would be money.
Spectacular, 100%.
No, I too took some sewing classes in home ec. I feel like this whole show has been home ec, gardening, cooking, whatever. It's like
right, actually.
home ec in the mornings with Matt and Keith. I made a. Oh my God, it's so awful. I think my mother still has it. It was a pillow of a New York Giants helmet, but you couldn't tell what it was. You really couldn't. So I think I got a D on that one. But
Bernard's looking to get a sewing machine for embroidery on hats. Bernard, just outsource it, man. Just get somebody else to make them for you. Do-it-yourself home projects. So I actually saw some stats on this that are changing maybe back to what they were. So COVID, obviously, Maddie, drove a lot of home projects. But I found some, actually, I think yesterday, Home Depot is seeing some changes in that, where people are maybe doing less of that since 2019, 2021. But regardless, there's more people spending more time customizing their home spaces than ever before. And I don't know if that ever goes away. I don't know if that's a comeback thing, Matt. I think that's a thing we always do all the time, right? But
I think it's cyclical, right? Because styles change too. So it's like, okay, this is the cool thing now. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would tell you from my perspective for do it yourself, I like to do stuff and I go through phases. Like I'll all of a sudden just get into projects and all of a sudden I'm making a bunch of shit and then I'll stop for a while and then go back.
Yeah.
Or I'll see something that'll inspire me and I'm going to make this. We found some driftwood on a hike and I'm like, I'm going to turn that into a picture frame, whatever I'm inspired by. But I can see how that's a constant in the world, right? People are always wanting to improve and change their home, change their lives. So I'd say go for it. And like you've talked about, anything that's creating, not consuming is a good thing.
Speaking of improving, and speaking of adding value, Bernard coming in with appreciate you guys for giving us a space to gather and grow. Bernard, that's the whole reason I started the show, was to take the things that I learned and take the things that I try to live by with the philosophy of getting up, getting after it, making good choices, and surrounding myself with people like Roofy and Anderson and yourself and Zeglen and because with you guys around me, I glasses off, true story. With you guys around me, I make better decisions every day. There's Matt, I can't say it any clearer than that, actually. Like I can't. I go through my day, and as I go through my day, I'm thinking about the next morning, because when I hang out with you guys, I don't want to be a hypocrite. So, Bernard, your comments, believe me, it goes both ways, man. We're building a community here. It's funny, Matt. I had somebody reach out to me and said, hey, you got to get more viewers. I said, no, I don't want more viewers. I'm like, what? Like, no, I want more community members. Like, I just don't want a bunch of people just for the sake of a bunch of people, right? Like, I don't want a stadium of 100,000 people or there's only 10,000 that like my shit. No, I want 10,000 people that want to be in our community, that want to engage, want to participate, not just somebody who's like a troll, right? So we want the right kind of humans. So Bernard, I appreciate your comments. This doesn't work if you guys don't show up, Maddie, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Of course we want to grow and we want more. But what we're finding ways to do that, and the way we're going to do that is by growing the network and bringing good people, bringing good people onto the show, and they're going to bring their good people, and that's the way we're going to grow.
Did you say growing the network? We might be growing the network, Maddie. We might be adding a guy on the third hour named Jonathan Bannister. Well, you did say good people, and I was going to say Jonathan Bannister, third hour. Just joking, Bannister. Third hour coming up. Mornings in the Lab. We got Keith and John Bannister joining a third hour here coming up in August. We're going to get into digital marketing and help you guys help you grow your business. So, the first 30 minutes of the morning show with Maddie is going to be much about kindness and getting up and making good decisions. The 2 hours of Keith and John and Matt and AJ, the Mornings in the Lab segment here is going to be about health and lifestyle and fitness. And then we're going to get into a third hour with Bannister talking more on the business, the marketing, digital side, leaning into much of my experience and so forth. And then guys, we're looking for a female to host the fourth hour. Keith and Maddie, you're out there knocking on doors looking for a female to host the fourth hour. Yep, true story. Maybe dating, relationship advice. Maybe, Matt, bringing a female voice to our conversations, right?
Yeah. And we love to have the diversity of all kinds of people, right? Because that's what we believe in here.
Yes.
And I know it's, we're not DEI like that, like woke or whatever, but at the same time, what's really important is valuing perspectives, I know we've got some relationships growing with some really awesome people.
Yes.
Avante was one of them. We talked to Victoria yesterday. She was great. So we're really looking. I'm personally looking forward to it. I won't speak for you, but
You
I
and
know
me both.
you do.
I'm glad you brought the word. I'm glad you brought the word DEI because I want to address for a quick second. To me, when I hear the word DEI, I hear check in the box. I would prefer to use the word intentional. So what I mean by that is that I know that there are people tuning into the show that all don't look like me, or all that aren't like me, or all that aren't like you, or all that aren't like. So I want to make sure this place is welcoming for everybody. It's not about being woke. It's not about being DEI. It's about being intentional to make content that appeals to everyone. And when I mean everyone, our audience, men and women, wives and cousins are showing up. But the reality is, I really don't give a fuck what you are, where you sleep, who you sleep with. This is not about, okay, we got to check the box. We got to have the Ukrainian on the show or the Russian or the Pole or the female. No, actually, you're all welcome here. So I'm glad you brought it up, Matt. And that's where I think society went too far, which is, okay, we got to get DI. We got to check the box, check the box, check the box. But it wasn't being intentional, Matt.
Yeah, right. It's all about authenticity, right? And being genuine, and which is what we bring to this. Yes. I think we genuinely welcome all types of everything. But what we want, like you said, is the people who have the mindset and are coming to engage in the community, to learn something, to contribute something. And that's what it's about, whether you're white, black, gay, straight, whatever. That's not the point. The point is, are you getting up, getting after it, trying to bring kindness into the world, trying to get better every day and make the world a better place to live for everyone. So I don't care what you are. Yeah.
Matty, classic cocktails are making a comeback as well. But what I suspect is making a comeback is classic cocktails without perhaps, because we know alcohol consumption is changing, right? But the idea of historical craftsmanship, making a good cocktail, so whether it has alcohol in it or not, I got to admit, man, I love watching a bartender or somebody craft a great drink. I think that's a fascinating skill, Matty.
It's awesome. Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of drinks out there that are being made that are non-alcoholic, right?
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, I love a good old fashioned. I love the taste of whiskey. I just don't drink it in mass quantities like I used to, and that kind of thing. But there's also lots of ways to be a mixologist without alcohol involved.
Absolutely.
But I agree. Like all the stuff that's going on, all these curated ingredients, and they're over there mixing it, and it's like a laboratory, and smoke's coming up, and the aromas start coming out. They're using herbs of unique things. There's a place. I live in upstate New York. Ithaca, New York is known as probably a pretty liberal place, but there's a place called Cultivare there, and it's actually part of the schools, right? Because Cornell's there and whatever, and they actually have people who are students there who are making unbelievable mixtures of cocktails, both alcoholic and non, and it's just really cool. It's an art.
Next up, Maddie, what's making a comeback is more and more people are spending time camping and spending more time doing outdoor activities. And I think one of the reasons that has changed is funny. I was talking to Brookie's tutor who was here yesterday, teaching her some stuff, some summer school stuff, and she was talking about going glamping. And I think that's what's changed, Matt, is that camping has been redefined somewhat. And I got no judgment on it, frankly. If you want to go camp in a motorhome with your internet, your Wi-Fi, and your movies, I love it. Go for it. Right? Connection to nature, or whether it's a tent or whether it's glamping. But the reality is, Matt, more folks are doing it, and I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I think a lot of what we're talking about was driven out of the pandemic, right? This is the good shit. This is the good shit that came out of us changing our perspective. Our perspective in life. I love camping. I don't mind being in a tent. I've slept open air cabin. My wife wants to have running water and electricity, but I love camping. I think it's amazing. I love camping with friends. There's nothing better than sitting around a fire all night, waking up and making breakfast on the outdoor fire, getting out hiking in nature. That's my world. You're talking my game right there.
I love it. I love it. Back to drinking, back to the classic cocktail comment. Maddie Bernard comes in and says, I don't mind. No, I have I have, what's this? I have 25 gallons of mead right now and looking real nice. Haven't even sampled it yet. I don't mind a taste or one drink or shot, rarely, mostly for the taste. Good for you, brother. I rather cook with spirits or make extracts like vanilla or cinnamon. Bernard, you're an interesting dude, man. I'm looking forward to meeting you when I get a chance to meet you and bring us all together. And then Bernard comes back and says, Matt, my cabin is barely bigger than some tents. And Holroyd is glamping right now, working from the trailer today, hotspot, internet, and a laptop. Matty Holroyd is a fucking OG, man. You hear every single.
Yeah, that's awesome. He's there every day, wherever he is in the world. That's amazing. When I hear glamping, though, I don't think about RVs necessarily. I think of I've seen these huge tents that actually have full size, 4-poster beds and TVs in them, and they're basically huge party tents that have been converted into, or the yurts that are out there in the world, and that kind of thing. So I think RV camping is awesome because anything that gets you out and gets you to go from place to place and experience new things is amazing.
Lady Drew's a big fan of glamping as well. And Maddie, the final one here on the habits that are making a comeback before we close up the segment. And then we're going to get to, we're going to do a quick dive into the top 5 careers most likely to cheat before we get to the community corner and wrap up the big show here today on the big free-for-all Friday. House plants and plant parenthood. More and more folks are enhancing their decor and well-being with house plants. Matt, is that a thing for your house?
Yeah, we're leaning into it, honestly. I'm sitting out here in my breezeway, and we kill a lot of plants in our house. We're not necessarily the green thumbs in the world, but we have been leaning into it. It adds a natural element. There's no question, obviously people talk about oxygen and that kind of thing. I love plants. I think it's cool. There's so much diversity in that world of looks and styles. It just adds a whole thing. So yeah, I'm leaning into it. Not necessarily real good at it, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I'm with you. So guys, here's the takeaway from our conversation here on habits that you might want to consider picking up. Maybe you want to start small. Maybe you want to pick up one of these habits today. Maybe bake your own bread this weekend, or send a handwritten note to somebody, or just intentionally reclaim some simplicity with a board game. So I invite you guys to, remember, authenticity never go to stop. Embrace his old school habits boldly, and let's rediscover together how simplicity can lead to a richer, fuller life. And that's going to close up our conversation on habits making a comeback here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Jimmy, let's wrap up this segment and let's open up our next one about the top 5 careers most likely to cheat with Keith and Matt on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Jimmy?
Real fulfillment doesn't come from the latest app or digital shortcut. It comes from your hands in bread dough, from the weight of a pen writing actual words on paper, from those deliberate moments when you choose substance over speed. The generations before us didn't need permission to find joy in simple things. Your modern life isn't your prison. It's your canvas for rediscovering what actually matters. Every rushed text could be a handwritten note. Every store-bought convenience could be a chance to create something with your own hands. Which of these timeless habits calls to you right now? And what would happen if you started practicing it tomorrow? The path back to authentic living might be hiding in the wisdom you've been overlooking. What if your career is the biggest threat to your marriage? New psychological research reveals shocking truth about workplace infidelity. Certain professions create perfect storms for betrayal, and the data will make you question everything you thought you knew about loyalty. Aviation leads the list. Pilots and flight attendants face the highest infidelity rates. Hospitality workers, healthcare professionals, corporate executives, and first responders follow close behind. Time away from home, high stress, and social environments create dangerous opportunities.
Happens, workplace infidelity is not, well, it's a common thing. So I found an interesting conversation here around, multiple studies and expert opinions identify several professions with higher than average rates of infidelity. Aviation, are we surprised by that one on the top? Frequent travel, long absences, and loneliness always.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean that's the first thing. That was actually one of the first things I thought of when you started the conversation. Like anything that takes you out of the home and takes you away, right? It's going to give you. It's going to provide more opportunities. It's going to provide feelings of loneliness, feelings of grass is greener on the other sidedness, that kind of thing. I'm just glad you didn't say live program streaming host. Was on the top, because I'd probably not be showing up on Monday. My wife would be like, "You're not doing that."
But you know what's funny, Matt, is you just said something which it didn't really dawn on me until I'm looking at my notes here. But you're right. So these professions, aviation, you're away all the time. Hospitality and nightlife, while you're working late, you're in social environments, alcohol involved. So okay, strike one, boom. Strike two, boom. The next one, healthcare. Doctors and nurses, an industry you came from, right? So, if you're a doctor, you're probably at the hospital for not an hour or two. You're there for a long time, hanging out with other people all the time, right? So,
right, yeah. So, absolutely. I spent 30 years there, and the stories I can tell are pretty deep in terms of,
I'm sure,
the stuff you see on Grey's Anatomy and ER around that is exaggerated, but it's real. And I think the word that drives that there is stress and bonding, right? So when you're trying to save somebody's life together as a team, you're bonding in ways. Same things with first responders. I believe it, right? Because through tragedies, through these stressful situations, you form bonds with the people that you're going through it with, and unfortunately, it can lead to that kind of infidelity, right?
Corporate executives in finance, high pressure environments, frequent business travel, extended work hours. Again, makes sense, right? You're away from home often. Away from home, you're in emotional situations, connecting with other humans. I think that's the key there, right? When you put two humans in a quote unquote emotional situation, that's how connection happens, right? And that connection can happen with some words, with a glance. Next thing you know, there's these emotional connections going perhaps sideways, right? And psychologist Eden Lobo emphasizes, Maddie, the role of workplace dynamics and emotional needs in fostering conditions ripe for infidelity. And if you look at those ones we're talking about, they all have dynamics involved and they all have emotional needs involved. So
right. It just makes perfect sense, right? In terms of where that might come from. But the question is, what do we do for those people who are in those situations? We need those people. We need those people in jobs. So how do we help them, right? And I think it starts with what we start with every day here, which is intentionality and priorities, right? When you make your family, your spouse, your priority, and you have that connection, hopefully you're not looking for connections elsewhere. So yeah.
Remember, guys, knowledge empowers action. No profession guarantees infidelity. Awareness and intentional relationship care can keep your bond strong and resilient. Jimmy, let's close it up.
If you're in one of these professions, prioritize communication. Regularly discuss boundaries and expectations with your partner to reinforce trust. Cultivate connection. Intentionally make time for emotional intimacy and shared activities, especially if your job involves significant stress or travel. Have you ever noticed how your job impacts your relationship dynamics? How do you maintain trust and intimacy despite professional pressures? Remember, knowledge empowers action. No profession guarantees infidelity. Awareness and intentional relationship care can keep your bond strong and resilient.
Back with Keith and Matt here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends on a free-for-all Friday. We're wrapping up here the last 10 minutes or so on the show. We're gonna get into the community corner here in a quick second with myself and Matt. Just a reminder, guys, this Monday coming up 7:30 Eastern time, the big show is expanding. The mornings platform is getting bigger. Roofy's starting a show. Yeah, true story. Yeah. Monday morning, 7:30 Eastern time. Matt, what's it about, brother?
So yeah, it's all about kindness, right? So it's kindness rising. We're bringing hope and humanity to start the day with positivity. The idea being that when we get up in the morning, we have a little bit of a chance to think about how we're going to start our day, how we're going to make our day better. Every day I wake up and I think of, okay, we talked about those questions you should ask yourself. My first question is, how can I spread kindness today? How can I multiply kindness? And it's so simple and it's easy, but it has to become a practice. So I'm hoping that my 7:30 show will help other people to do that and will help us lead into an energetic show at 8 o'clock with Mornings in the Lab. And we'll get at it. I'm going to be having guests from social impact, nonprofit, and charity organizations. We'll be having calls to action out there for people. I hope people will take those seriously and build the community. So come on out. engage in the chat. I'll be there. Jimmy's going to be supporting me. Keith's been amazing in developing it. I'll see you at 7:30 in the morning on July 7th, every day, Monday through Friday.
Absolutely, guys. Looking forward to it. And Uncle Keith might make a guest appearance every now and then to stick my mug in to make sure Matt's just do it. Matt's going to do awesome, guys. And I know you're all going to help Matt be successful. And guys, we're just getting started. We are just getting started. And listen, here, there's a number of ways you guys can get involved in this whole thing. First of all, you can join the conversation. The Mornings in the Lab hotline is live right now, 431-300-3005. I imagine we're going to extend that same number to the Kindness Rising hotline on Monday morning. So, guys, just join the Mornings in the Show platform, 431-300-3005. Voicemail, text, or make a phone call. Bring us into the show here, guys. We'll bring you in here. So that's something we're inviting you guys to as well. What's up, Batshit Crazy? Good to have you in. Always joining the conversation. And then, guys, of course, we got the Morning Store. Yes, the store is open. The Morning.store. We got Mornings in the Lab merchandise. We're gonna have Kindness Rising merchandise. All the stuff we got coming on our platform. We are building in real time in front of you guys. So I invite you guys to whoa, yes. Uncle Keith for POTUS. I am all over that, motherfuckers. Yes, sirree, baby. There we go, Maddie. That's going to be the transition for 2026. Uncle Keith for POTUS. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get some hats and merchandise. And Matt's going to be the VP. And it's going to be the Keith and Matt. Actually, make Johnny. Fuck, we all can be the leaders, brother.
That's it. We're leading it anyway, so we may as well be formal about it.
That's it. Then, of course, we got the Mornings in the Lab community, guys. I invite you guys to join. Of course, our show is free. Of course, this experience is free, and we love you guys being a part of it. For those of you that want to contribute and be a part of something more, and admittedly, I'll go glass off of this one, there's not a lot more yet being the key word here. What do I mean, guys? You guys are beating up yet? No, we're doing yet because we're working towards it. But we got... we got a small membership program. It's $3 a month, $15 a month, $20 a month. The money coming in, guys, is going to go to reinvest in what we're building here. It's not to put money in my pants or Maddie's pants. It's to reinvest in building the community, building the audience, and building greater shows for you guys along the way here on Mornings in the Lab. All right, so we're running a little bit past, but that's okay. We're going to do the community corner now. Jimmy, let's get into it, brother. Loving these transitions. We're getting this. It's funny, Matt. Somebody said to me yesterday, "Yeah, I want to start a podcast." It's like, really? What is it? 1984? Fuck, man! Look at my show. Look at the show we're making. That's not a podcast over there. This is a full ass fucking TV show. Production, videos, intros. So go make it. You want to start a blog? Go back to 1980. You want to start a podcast? Go back to 2000. You want to start a live experience? Come knock on Matty Roof's door. Come knock on my door. We'll help you get there. That's the future, you guys. Start living in the future, not the past. All right, Matty, it's time for the community corner where we're going to connect LinkedIn and Substack right here on Mornings Live with Keith and friends. We're going to do it together, brother. Question for all of you guys. What if the only thing standing between you and your next big win isn't time, money, or motivation, but just you? Let's see what the community is stirring up this morning, Maddie. Matt, let's start on Substack, brother. We got somebody who is says, you feel like you're the guy holding the keys to your own jail cell? No, we're not talking about Diddy. Oh, did I just talk about Diddy on our show, Maddie? Bring up fucking Diddy? Ooh, wow. Melissa, you got to give me names I can pronounce, like Mike or Matt or John.
Oh, who's this guy now?
Aodeji, sorry Adoji if I'm not saying your name right, drops a truth bomb in the latest Substack. After working with over 1,000 clients, he's convinced most of us already know what's holding us back, and it's not a lack of tactics, it's the face in the mirror. Well, the face in my mirror actually always moves me forward. I don't know about you, Roofy, but I like my face in the mirror, actually. I think it's quite a handsome face. Oh, also, I lost me. Anyways, this guy dives into loss aversion, learned helplessness, and why most people move. I still like my face in the mirror, though. Moved at a pace that would embarrass a turtle. But here's the twist, Roofy. This guy's not shaming anyone. This guy's lived it. He's owned it. And now he's telling us your biggest bottleneck not yours, Roofy, but the guy, rhetorically, the guy over there. Like the guy over there, Roofy. Yeah. That's the biggest bottleneck, is actually your biggest opportunity for growth. So guys, you don't need new secrets. You need new habits. And you need some honest self-reflection. So mornings in the lab, Business Athlete Nation, I invite you to think about this. What's one thing you know you need to quit doing so you can get out of your own way? Matt, what's one thing you can quit doing to get out of your own way?
Oh, that's a great question. I honestly, I gotta give up the late night sweets. I get the sweet treat. I'm working my butt off, walking every day, trying to work out, that kind of thing. And I get that sweet treat and craving, and I give in. So that's what I'm going to focus on now. I'm going to give up or lay off the sweet treat.
Dude, I'll tell you something. I'll be vulnerable with you and tell you the same thing. I'm you, same thing. Can I tell you what changed for me? And I'll be very frank with you, or John or Matt or Mike, is I made it a non-negotiable to go to bed on time. I just had to, because when I didn't, as the hours go past 8 o'clock, my feet walk towards the pantry or the fridge. And I stand there like John would say, a fat, stupid son of a bitch going, okay, let's make a bad decision. So I love my 8 till 9 to 10 o'clock snacks. I have made it a fucking religious point of view. Last night, true story, I was craving peanut butter. I was walking towards the pantry. I was like, nope. I went to bed. And I didn't have stuff done this morning. I just went to bed. I was like, I got to go to fucking bed because there's bad decisions coming. So if I can help you with that, that's just what I had to do. I just had to go to bed. Because
so what's amazing to me is how many times I can stand in front of the pantry and say, you're making a bad decision, and then still freaking make it.
You and me both, man. And I know Johnny revealed the same thing to me a few months ago. I was like, oh, you're actually human. So I'm with you, man. So I had to say to myself, go to fucking bed. And I know it's easier said than done, pal, but bad. I am with you, man. I love my sweets. I love my peanut butter. After 8 o'clock, my body's going, okay, Mr. Uncle Keith, where is it? And I'm like, no, bastard, I'm going to bed. You're not going to beat me today. So I'm here, pal. I'll be thinking about you. I'll be rooting you on, man, because I can appreciate your battle. And I know a lot of us have the same battles, man. We do. All right, Maddie, the 24-hour rule: celebrate, sulk, then get back to work. You want a real mindset hack? Well, Steve Magnus comes in swinging with the most no-nonsense rule at all. After a big win or a brutal loss, give yourself 24 hours. That's it. I love this, by the way. Celebrate hard or grieve hard, but then get back to the work you actually enjoy. Because it's not about the high or the low. It's about showing up again and again. Love this. The real daily motion is in the grind, the stuff you do when nobody's watching. Steve's take is simple. Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. If you want to build momentum, guys, put your energy into the next rep, the next meeting, the next habit stack. What are you still celebrating? Or are you still beating yourself up? Matt, what do you think about Steve Matt's advice? I love this, man.
I love it. I love it too. We've talked about it earlier on the show, and it triggered me. We were talking about emotional intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Part of emotional intelligence is recognizing that you're feeling the emotion.
Yes.
You feel it. You acknowledge it. You go, oh, I'm grieving. Oh, I feel like shit. Or, oh, my God, I'm elated. Guess what? That's going to change in a heartbeat. So embrace it. Enjoy it. Move on. Move to action. You'll feel it again, or you'll feel something different again. What
I like about this theory, Maddie, is, and I know you're a sports guy like I am, it relates, back to sports, right? When you win a game, enjoy it, then get on to the next one.
Yeah.
Right. And
absolutely.
I always talk with Carter about this. He plays defense, and I'm like, dude, you're going to have a bad shift today. It's just going to happen. But when it happens, put it away and go to the next one. Right. Exactly. So learn it, absorb from it. All right. Next one, guys. Let's get to the next one here. The truth behind having it all figured out. Do you think everybody on LinkedIn's got it all figured out, Maddie? Wow.
A lot of people think they do, but nobody does.
Yeah. Nikki Lang. Yeah. Nikki, what's shaking, Nikki? Nikki, not Nikki Six, Maddie. No, Nikki Lang. Nikki Lang says, think again. She opens up about the real story behind the perfect social feed, the loneliness, the exhaustion, the guilt of missing family, even while chasing big dreams. She even shares a late night text to her mom, admitting she was lonely and tired even when everything on the outside looked great. Nick is calling out the toxic comparison game and reminding us we're all human. Life's tough, business is tougher, and nobody's immune to the emotional check-ins, even if we hide it well. So, mornings in the lab, Business Athlete Nation, when's the last time you texted someone? Yeah, when is it? When's the last time you texted someone and said, hey, I'm struggling, but I'm not giving up? And if you're looking for somebody to text, you can text the Mornings in the Lab hotline, 431-300-3005, and say, hey, I'm struggling, but I'm not giving up. I'll guarantee you this, guys, because I've done this. Some of you guys have texted me to say I need help. And I've answered your call, and I've texted you back. So if you're looking for some help, you're looking for a voice, you're looking for somebody to lean into, give Uncle Keith a text. Give Maddie a text. I promise you. Ask Bernard. Ask Holroyd. We'll chat. All right, Maddie, next one. Wrap it up on LinkedIn. Her house looks like a brothel. Oh, and it's a good thing. Let's lighten it up, literally. Teresa Bug takes us on a tour of her house after dark where everything glows red, Matt. Not for the reasons you think. No, it's not Diddy's house, you guys. There's no baby oil in the corner there. No, we're talking about Teresa Bug's house where it's dark and everything glows red. But because she's on a mission to fix her sleep, her hormones, and her mental health by mimicking firelight and sunrise. No more blue light insomnia. No more pretending to be a night owl. She ditched the midnight grind mindset and swapped it for early mornings, red lamps, and better rest. Her point? You don't need fancy gadgets just to fix your light. Fix your biology and you'll fix your performance. George put a lock on the pantry. If you want to dominate your day, you have to start by protecting your nights. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
I love that. Sleep is key. I'd never heard the red light thing except for in Amsterdam, so I'll have to look into that one.
That's for the community corner today, guys. That's it. That's the community corner. We got the creator spotlight coming up. We're going to try a new little segment on that coming up in a minute. Here's the big question. What's your next small move that actually changed your life? And guys, if you want to be featured on this segment, here's how it works. Get onto Substack, get onto LinkedIn, make a post and tag us in it. Tag me in it, tag Mornings in the Lab, tag Matt, tag Kindness Rising. We might just feature you on the show. And hey, you put some kindness content out there, Matt might invite you to his Kindness Rising show, 7:30 Eastern time, Monday to Friday. So guys, I invite you to join the community in the community corner. All right, Jimmy, let's run the first creator spotlight. Let's see how it goes, brother.
Success can become a trap. Robert Anderson Jr. learned this the hard way. Picture this: Division I athlete, ultramarathon beast who conquered 100-mile races, successful lacrosse program builder, devoted father of 4. From the outside, he had it all. But when a life-threatening health crisis hit, everything he thought he knew about winning got turned upside down. That's when Robert discovered something powerful. Real success isn't about collecting achievements. It's about designing systems that sustain you through anything. He created Win by Design, a framework that transforms how men approach their health, leadership, and legacy. Welcome to Conversation, Robert Anderson Jr.
Robert Anderson Jr., we're celebrating you today, brother. We are. Yep, I'm Keith Phillips. That's Matt Roof. Meet Robert Anderson Jr., the keynote speaker, the coach, the author, and the guy redefining what men's health, fitness, and leadership can look like. Robert rebuilt everything, Maddie. His health, his habits, his team, one small action at a time, and he's teaching others how to do it too. Real talk, success can feel like a moving target, especially for men trying to win at work, at home, and on the field. But what happens when you hit a wall you never saw coming? Well, Robert is a D1 athlete, ran 100-mile ultramarathons, built a powerhouse lacrosse program, and raised 4 kids, all while facing a life-threatening health scare and coming back stronger. Robert, we found your story. We wanted to celebrate you. So here's how it works. We made some content, and we're celebrating you here on the show on Mornings Live with Keith and Friends on the community corner of the Creator Spotlight. And Robert, here's how it works, brother. We'd love to have you on the show. I want to give you the Creator Spotlight so you can shine on somebody in your orbit and bring them into the show. That's what we're celebrating you today, Robert. Keep it up going, brother. Keep it rocking and rolling. Go connect with Robert Anderson over there on LinkedIn as part of our Creator Spotlight this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. All right, Jimmy, let's get to the second one, brother. Let's get the second one up there. Let's get into subs.
What if the strongest men aren't those who avoid discomfort, but those who run straight toward it? Most men try to outwork their pain, lifting heavier, pushing harder, but still find themselves fighting anxiety, isolation, and uncertainty in the quiet moments when no one else is around. Jay Azeltine proved real transformation comes from facing discomfort head-on. From anxious teenager in small-town Ohio to elite powerlifter, Ironman triathlete, and trusted coach to over 400 men. In Costa Rica, he leads transformative retreats where honesty beats ego, vulnerability builds strength, and brotherhood always wins out. Are you ready to stop running from discomfort and start embracing growth? Welcome Jay Azeltine to Mornings in the Lab.
Maddie, picture a small Ohio town, one stoplight, big dreams, and a teenager quietly fighting anxiety every night. Wow, this guy tried to outwork the pain, lifting heavier, running further. But real relief never came from getting stronger, Maddie. Then he chose to show up differently. Yeah, instead of running from discomfort, he faced it head on and started helping other men do the same. The guy's name, you met him already, Jay Azeltine, elite powerlifter, Ironman triathlete, coach to 400 men, leader of transformation retreat in Costa Rica. He shows up real, admits the work is never done, and helps others do the same. If you're looking for a story that proves growth is possible, I invite you to go check out Jay over on Substack. He is the man, Jay Azeltine. Here's how it works, brother. We're celebrating you today. We'd love to celebrate you next. I'm sorry, we'd love to celebrate somebody in your orbit next. I would love to. Matt would love to. Producer Jimmy would love to invite you to the show. Yes. Going to give you the creator spotlight so you can shine on somebody in your orbit and pay the segment forward as part of the next Community Corner on the Creator Spotlight on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. All right, Maddie. All right, Jimmy. We did it. We did the Community Corner segment. Got some new stuff running here today, guys. Some new production going after it. Woo, I got to pause. I saw somebody down in front of me here, which makes me really excited. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go. Yeah. And actually, I'll go like this too. Batshit crazy. Brother, I appreciate you and the gifted membership that you offered up today. Oh, man, that is so kind of you. So I got to be honest with you, I don't know how it works. So I see that he gave a friend's membership. I don't know where the friend's membership went. Maybe it went to Bernard, or I'm not sure here. Batty, that's awesome, man. I love you a long time. That shit, you were awesome, man. And then we got Bernard come back. I used to carb load at night to gain mass when lifting. And Bernard, I'm like you, man. I do most of my eating in the evening until I go to bed. So I do not eat during the day. And I eat my first meal around 3-4 o'clock. Sure, we go 4 o'clock. I have my last meal around 7 o'clock. And then I'm done for the day. So that's my eating pattern. And awesome. Batshit gifted Bernard. That's awesome. B Drive. Welcome to the Mornings in the Lab community. And you know what, guys? Can I be honest with you guys? I was looking into how I can give gift memberships to all of you guys. I wanted to give one to all of you that are on the show, but YouTube doesn't let me. So here's how I have to do it, actually. ChatGPT gave me the hack. They said, okay, you got to log into a different account on YouTube, not your own account. You got to set up a different account. And then you got to do it that way. I'm like, fuck, really? So hence I haven't done it yet, guys. So when we can do that, I'll give you guys gift memberships because you guys all deserve them. So
I love the idea of gift memberships, man. That is a kind act.
Yes.
When you find someone who can benefit from that, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes. Maddie, we'll wrap it up, man. I went a little overtime today. And I'll tell you why. We had some new components to the show, some new production elements. It's everybody stuck around for the whole show. A lot of fun. Jimmy. Oh, that's
going to be my ringtone.
That's how that came to life. Yeah.
Start somewhere.
Last Friday. So you know what? I before we quickly go, brother, I was listening to a conversation with John Mayer, and the question was, how do you make a song? And he's like, you know how I make a song? He's like, I pick up my guitar, I'll sit in a room or I'll stare at a wall and I'll just start strumming and sing a bunch of words you couldn't even imagine I'm saying. And so you just start saying words and start pulling it together. And he's like, next thing you know, a song comes out of it. Right. So I was sitting out, Brookie had an acting performance last week where we were at, and I was sitting there waiting to go into it. And I just was thinking of Jimmy. So I started humming Jimmy. And next thing you know, there's a fucking song here. So I gave it to the song came. That's how it all came to life. I was channeling my John Mayer, Matt Roof.
That's awesome. So first of all, John Mayer, Grateful Dead connection. Love that. Yeah. Second of all, sculpture starts with a ball of clay. It's got to start with something, right? And it's got to form and it's got to come. It's the same thing, right? You start with the ball of words like Jimmy, and you end up with a song. That's awesome.
Yes. Hey, I just realized Jonathan Bannister might be out of a job here.
What?
Wow, because you and I are into our third hour now, and we're having some fun.
Yeah, apparently we're just going to run it, man.
I'm just
thinking, 11.
Bannister,
till 11.
Bannister might be kicked out of the lab here for the third hour. We just might be doing the Keith and Maddie show here, bro. I'm just thinking aloud here.
We need Bannister, man. We need him to drop his digital knowledge nuggets. We need him to bring that energy he brings. I'll gladly join him, but
I got to do this. So hold on one more time. We have more. So batshit crazy is out there. Just hop. Or is it Bernard? Oh, no, Bernard. Bernard's giving out the gifts. Bernard, dude. Oh, my goodness, man. Oh,
the chain.
Wow, look at this. Oh, I just got to keep, I tried, Maddie. You guys are awesome. Pardon my language. You guys are fucking awesome. Awesome. Just awesome. Batshit, Bernard, you guys are just awesome. You know what, Matt? When we all meet in person, nobody's calling real names.
Nobody knows anybody, right?
I do not want real names. I'm going to walk, hey, Batshit with chicken. Hey,
exactly.
Hey, B-Drive with chicken. Hey, good time with chicken. Although it's going to be Holroyd because I'm a last name guy. You know I'm a last name guy. Matt, I butchered his last name. It was Roofy. If we go back, Jimmy, we're going to have to bring that clip up here when we first met Roof because Uncle Keith here just did a wonderful name butchering his. And he's like, what the fuck?
It caught my attention, though. And here we are 2 months later.
Here we are. Okay, well, listen, I got a sound I'm going to play here for us. This is the sound that walks us out of here. Hold, listen.
Get out.
There it is. There we go. Oh, what's this, Bernard? No divorce here. I had once. Oh, yeah, you and me both, man. Yeah, I can't afford to give out free gifts because of my divorce. Just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. Hey, anyways, you guys, a lot of fun here today. I appreciate you guys all showing up. What a great week of shows, Maddie. Great week of shows.
Awesome. Next week's going to be even awesomer because awesomer, is that a word? I don't know.
No,
I'm not sure. But 7:30 a.m. Monday morning, come find me at Kindness Rising.
7:30 a.m. Kindness Rising. Holroyd, you are right, man. We are going to have a convention somewhere. I can guarantee that. So, no, it's a promise. It's absolutely part of our plan. So, and I'll give you guys all enough heads up notice so that we all can save our nickels to get there. But hey, Holroyd, it's warm here in the summertime. Adam's from Southern Ontario, so Adam's like, I'm not fucking going to Manitoba to hang out with Billis. Yeah, you are.
We'll meet you in the middle. What's in the middle between Ontario and I don't know my
Kenora, Matt. We got Kenora in the middle there. Bernard, will it be here on another channel? So Bernard, it'll be here and on Kindness Rises. So here's how it's going to work, guys. I want to be very clear. So you guys will find the show here on the Mornings in the Lab channel. But when you guys show up on Monday, I also want to invite you to click on subscribe to Matt's channel as well. Please do that, right? So you'll be able to get the show on Matt's channel or on the Mornings in the Lab channel. But just to lay it out for you guys, Keith and Maddie are building a big platform here, right? Like, you know, we're starting with this, and then I'm just going to get into it. And Matt's 30-minute show is very much a template for many of the other 30-minute shows that we're out selling right now. So we're actually in the market right now, inviting people to join the Business Athlete Performance Lab Roundtable. We have 30-minute shows for sale. We have 60-minute shows for sale. We're building a brand new modern media company. So back to your question, Bernard, you'll be able to find Matt's show right here on the Mornings in the Lab channel. And we're also building the Kindness Rising channel with Matt as well. So that's how it's working. And Bernard, true story, man. If it's something that is part of your journey in the future, that's how it would work. And we'd love to have you on the platform as well. Is entrepreneurs, business dudes, and so forth. But Lady Drew, we don't want you on the platform, though. No, I can't have Drew on the, Matt, we can't have. She knows I'm joking, man. Drew knows me well enough that she knows me well enough that I'm joking. She shows up here every single day. It's funny because she gave me shit a couple months back. She's like, "Did you call a woman a bitch?" I'm like, "No, we do not call women bitches. No, we do not refer to them in a negative way. I love my wife. I love my daughters. I know Matt does as well. You will use bitch in a dog way, in a fun, in a provocative way, but you will never hear us on this show calling women bitches because that's not what they are. Nope, they are too awesome, frankly. So there we go. And Bernard's coming back saying, can't afford professionals like Lady Drew. That's it. All right, Maddie, I got to stop talking because if I don't stop talking, we're going to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to press this button. On behalf of Jimmy, Maddie, Johnny, AJ, and the entire gang, all of you guys in the comments, I love all of you guys. Rufy, I love you too, man. We'll see you later, okay?
Have a great week, and I'll see you soon, though.
Have a great one, guys.
Cool.
I got to go for a piss.